Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Button 91. We're talking to you guys about what? Married at first sight. You know how it be, you know how we do. Listen, I got a little duvet on me, baby. Listen, because it's cold out here and I'm not playing with the weather. But we're talking about Married at First Sight. It's been crazy. Listen, Airris and Jessica, I know you all felt it. I know you all felt uncomfortable because I felt uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie to you. Man was sitting in a tub. And as he sat in the tub, I said to myself, this guy really asked her to go and get grapes right now? Like right now? I was confused. I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt a little bit uncomfortable with that. Just a little bit uncomfortable. And someone mentioned it, especially when we saw last week, he said about, get on your knees. Now I tried to defend it last week, but after this week, Aris is on his own. Do you know what I mean? So I was like confused by that. Yeah, I was a little bit like and then obviously um as well the cousin that's not the cousin. I don't know if she is the cousin, but yo, it's wild. If she's a cousin for sure, then it's still wild. But if she isn't the cousin, we're gonna have ask some real questions because Olga was out here like a terrier bull. And actually, you can actually see the disappointment. I assume it's a disappointment, but the hurt in Jasmine's eyes. You could see the hurt in Jasmine's eyes, and that was very painful. I could see that when she came back and she spoke to him, and he didn't really say anything. He didn't really like check it and be like, "Look, I'm going to talk to her and I'll check it," because it was unnecessary. You know what I mean? Girl kept on coming at him about. I mean, the girl kept on coming at her like with pageant answers and this and that. And I was like, you're doing a bit too much, sis. Like you doing more than the mum is doing or whatever, whoever's there, bruv. Anyway, listen, you already know what it is. Listen, if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and loaded. I can see that you guys are ready for the conversation tonight. Let me put the link in the chat. Listen, it seems that you guys want to be in. Okay. All right. You look like you guys want to be involved in the conversation. Join the live. If you feel like you got something to say, guys, this is the night tonight. Join the live. I'm gonna put this. Okay. Put that in there, baby. If you want to join the conversation, because it looks like you guys are enthralled and ready to be involved in this conversation. I've never seen you guys so battalion before. Like you guys are on things. You know what I mean? So yeah, I gotta say. It's a bit mad right now. Listen, don't forget, if you are returning to this channel, then you already know what it is. You got the minerals. You know what I'm saying? Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hotter than anything you know. Yes, so talking to you guys about Man at First Sight, crazy stuff was happening. You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah, but I failed to like really deep dive into any of the other couples. Like, I have notes, but they're not that great. Apart from, I mean, I you know how it be. I'll be focused on the black folks. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk a little bit quickly about Gina and Clint. I'm sure the guys will join me along the way. If they don't, it is what it is. Tonight I'm feeling a little bit chilly. I don't know what it is, but let's talk a little bit about Gina and Clint real quick because I'm gonna be honest with you. Clint was talking a little bit too much about the sex for me. I'm sure they obviously cut and edited things, but like, bro, I need you to chill. There's a little bit too much conversation around sex. Like, it's just a little bit too much. You're too excited about sex, and that for me is concerning. Do you know what I mean? Every little thing that you talk about is around sex, and I'm like, bro, I get it. I get it. Yes, you find her attractive and you think she's a good-looking woman, but is everything needed to be about sex? Like, Clint, I need you to chill. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you doing the most. Let me get my boy on. Get my boy on. Trey. Trey, I can't see you, bro. What's going on? Trey, you there? I can't see you, bro. I can't see you. Is the Wi-Fi doing what Wi-Fi do? I can't see you. All right, cool. Might sort out behind the scenes, but yeah. If you can't do camera tray, just do the audio. It's fine. But yeah, no. With obviously Gina and Clint. Oh, unfortunately, their families when they were meeting their families, Regina and Clint, I think the one thing that they both kind of said, which was the family situation. That's about it. Like the family situation in terms, I say family situation, but in terms of their schedules, sorry, their schedules are quite busy, and you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have to kind of agree a little, just a little bit, just a little bit. I'm gonna have to agree just a little bit with uh Clint on this part. We got speaking again about Gina's workplace. I'm just saying, like, listen, I'm not saying that you can't talk about work, but baby, we're back here again talking about work. We're here again talking about your work again. Like, when are we not going to talk about work? Like, it just feels like that's what I'm saying. I can, it feels a little bit monotonous, right? Like we're talking about work one. Let me try. Oh, sorry. We're talking about work once again, and it's like I can see why he might feel a little bit frustrated because he mentioned this in episode one, and there we go, Tracy, my brother,
Yo,
bro. What's good, brother? You right,
I'm out here somewhere.
bro? Talk to me, brother. Clint, Gina, what you saying, bro?
Yo, it seems like she's saying one thing or the other. She said to his friends and family that she was attracted to him, but every time she talked to him, it's like she slow curving him. I don't like gingers, and I was like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? Like,
I said, that's what I said.
this is weird. Like, you saying something to a set of people, I guess not to get on their nerves or whatever, or make yourself seem approachable, or make yourself light, but you get in front of his face, then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't like gingers. So I'm like, well, okay, what's going on here? Because he's showing a ginger. This is a little weird.
Yeah,
Maybe it
listen,
was the
bro.
chest hair.
Do you know what? It's mad as well because um, I was wondering, like, obviously, like Gina's somebody who goes on holiday quite a bit, but why am I only hearing conversation? Um, why am I only hearing conversation about your work? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, that's the truth is that now it makes a bit more sense. She's not attracted to him. So if she's
Yeah,
not being attracted to him as well, and then you're so consumed with work, you don't talk about anything else. Like I'm confused. I'm like, babe, like surely there's more to you than just your work thing, bro. Like you go on holidays. That should mean, you got a broader palette of conversational topics to talk about. You've experienced things. And it's like, so why do you keep talking about work? Why is that the
yeah,
only thing that comes out your mouth?
yeah. Well, we already knew that she was a workaholic.
Mm,
She said that herself, that was going to be an issue with her personally anyway.
mm.
But she's definitely using it as a cover here because, I mean, obviously, I think Clinton has been all over the world. He's been to places, so it is a little strange. Like y'all not talking about places you might want to go or places you visit. Talk about what you want to do. You're married now. Let's start having marital talks. Like, what do you like? Your dislikes? What you don't like? What's going on here? But yeah, the more and more she looks like she's not going to be feeling him too much. And you know what? Clinton's not
Oh,
stupid.
sorry.
Clint is not stupid. I think he can tell, and because he can tell, I believe he's about to show his behind on this honeymoon. I think. Hey,
Well,
Crystal, what's up, girl?
hey, Crystal. I think
Give me that
obviously as
smile.
well, like he be doing too much though. I think also as well, as much as that she talks about work all the time, I think his intentions are also being shown as well. Like this brother talks about sex all the time about, do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if that energy is also being shown to her as well. I wonder if she's also picking up on the energy that bro just wants to get me in them draws. Okay, bro just he just wants a t-shirt and your panties on. You know what I mean? Like he just I wonder if that energy is also like being perpetrated to her, and that's also making her kind of like clam up a bit more as well. Because this literally, old girl was talking about work again. I said, God damn. Crystal, what's your thoughts? Gina, Clint.
I don't think she knows how to turn it off. I think that this has been her for so long, as far as And Dr. O just said she's got too much masculine energy that she doesn't know how, I don't think she knows how to turn it off. But besides the too much masculine energy, in addition, I think, as you just said, he's been talking about the sex and he's been doing all the things. I think that's a rebuttal to some of the things that he's been pulling. I, for some reason, think that he's going to get kind of rude during this honeymoon. I think that he's going to say some things that she's not going to like, but at the same time, he doesn't know how to read her either. So also, he's probably not had to read any woman. It sounds like he's been like just hitting and quitting for so long that this is to actually have a good, viable conversation with somebody that you're committed to. That's hard for him, but also she doesn't know how to turn it off. She's been such a workaholic for so long. She doesn't know how to turn it off either. And the conversation with the family was like, she works so much, but she does like to travel. I don't know that he knows how to navigate that. I don't know if he knows how to say, okay, let's travel. Is he a professional sailor? Like, they talked about his sailing. What does he do?
He works at some type of tech firm. I remember you saying that's what he does. He works at a tech firm, but he owns two boats. They
Okay.
specifically said that.
Okay. Because they just talked about him going sailing for the longest time. I'm okay. That's not all she likes to do. So yeah, I just don't know that she knows how to turn it off. And I think that she might have been one of those people. And we've talked about this. These people that get married on this show, they thought, I've been doing this for so long. As soon as I get married, this is going to change me. This, I will never. My spouse is going to help me to change the situation. No, it's not going to work that way. So yeah.
Yeah, obviously, of course, yeah, he's recreational. Someone said recreational sailing, and so he's okay. Someone said he sailed in competitions as well, which is cool.
Okay.
Which is cool as well. So, I mean, look, I think I was looking at I was making my notes as well, and he did stop himself at one point where he said, you know what, he doesn't want to have sex on the first day because obviously, the kids, if they have kids right now or whatever, he would be like thinking, the kids will be looking at him like, yo, you couldn't even wait the first day, etc., etc. That don't mean he won't wait a day too, but I hear what you're saying. But then she said something really interesting because she said she left all her work aside from the like being on the honeymoon. She left all her work behind, and she has struggles with letting go of control, right? So because she was letting them know that, hey, look, my colleagues keep telling me, even my like employees are saying like, are you sure you want to let this go? Like, are you sure you want to, not do any work, whatever? Because they know how she is. She's very tied into her work, and I wonder if that control will also play a major role within the relationship. Like, is she able to let control? Because that's a big thing too. You know what I mean? Like, you controlling at work, you're gonna be controlling probably in a relationship. And I don't. And when I say control, I don't mean like you trying to be like malicious with the control, but you're guarded. You control things that you can control. You want to make sure everything's right. You try to make everything fall into place exactly how how you feel it should do, and actually it makes you pre-planned in all that you do. You're very ordered in your steps, but that can be very monotonous and it can be very tiring for the other person who maybe want to might want to just have a bit more freedom in the way they maneuver. And I guess maybe Clint will probably want a bit more freedom because of the fact that he does sailing. It probably involves that. So I think that could be also an interesting thing as well. So, and she doesn't have a lot of free time apparently. So yeah, I don't know. Someone said yes, micromanage, that could be a better word to say than even control. She writes a micromanage, which can play into the relationship as well. Onu, welcome to the conversation as well.
What's up? Welcome.
Good to see you, bro. Clint and Gina, tell me, what's your thoughts, man?
With Gina, I mean, I think you hit it on the head. I think with entrepreneurs, like they're involved with so much their work, sometimes she doesn't have balance. Every conversation she has is like focused on work. I haven't heard her have a conversation where like work hasn't been the top. Work has been a topic. The only time was when they talked about the living situation. So guards are up, but just like social skills, like they've been like on been off for like way too long. Someone like Clint, he's like more social. He's getting away with a lot right now. It's to the point we're going to hate him in a couple of weeks because the energy, the effort that he's not putting any effort. Is I hate the word 50-50. He's pretty much not doing any effort. He's reading the room. He's doing enough just to get by. He's smiling. He's asking the right questions. You don't have a reason to hit it on his head. And I don't want to foreshadow to the future. Is he's not trying to meet her with the concessions she's making in the beginning. Like the first thing she's like, you know what, I'm gonna put down my phone, I'll be attentive, try to have the initial steps you do when you start meeting somebody that you're interested in. She's doing it right now. This guy's just like not the right match. He's not reading those social cues. In my opinion, I think Clint has like got the black gene. Like he just knows exactly what to say, suave, how to pick up the room. It's like no, right now at this particular point, there's really no reason for him to be hated. It's like when you look at his action, like I think we're gonna hit him. We see his action, see what he's gonna say in a couple of weeks. That's when we're going to start to turn on him. That's the issue I have right now in this relationship. Right now, I don't think it's a good match because again, Clint's not going to meet this girl halfway. And if you're not going to do that, I don't see the point of continuing this thing going forward.
Fair. Crystal, you wanted to add? Go for it.
Did you say the black gene? That's I know what you meant, but I was like, that's it. That's yeah, I think that her work is tied into her self-worth. So I almost think she feels guilty being away, getting married and going on a honeymoon. That's something that girl, it's okay. That's what you do. Like if she were to, she's one of those people that if she were pregnant, she would 6 weeks. That's it. I'm back to work. I think that she's, and that has something to do with past or whatever parentage, but she has that thing that she's like, she just feels guilty. She just feels guilty. So that's it. That's what I was gonna say. It's tied into her self-worth.
I definitely hear that, and I think obviously with Clint as well. I don't even think they're even two bad people. I just think to myself they have different outlooks on how they want to live their life. It does seem like Clint, wants to be free. He wants to be able to enjoy life in a particular type of way, and I think Gina could get there, but it would take her It would take her a lot of time to release herself from the clutches of that control that she has, like to be free. But clearly she can do a little bit of it because she goes on holidays. She goes on her own holidays and stuff. So there is a potential there. It's doing it with someone else. It's allowing someone else into that space, which is very difficult. And I'm not even just putting all the blame onto Gina because again, once more, Clint isn't perfect either. You know what I mean? I remember I watched After Party and she said about the gift that she got on the wedding day that did not start off things in a good manner. How are you just buying her sailing gloves, bro? And I think that initially also might have killed the energy as well because you've killed the engine before it's even started. You flooded the engine like blood. Like you have an opportunity here to send a gift over to your partner to show that you actually care at least some little bit, and you just send over sailing gloves. And you heard her mention it on the live. Now she didn't even say it too tough. She just said it, but you could tell that didn't go down well. And I don't know if her love language is gifts. So imagine if her love language is gifts and you bought her sailing gloves. Do you know what I mean? That then kind of speaks a lot about that, then sends the message to her. And that makes it difficult for her to also respond as well to you because it's like she actually ended up, buying 3 or 4 different gifts for you, trying to really think about how this, how she wanted to send a message to you. And then in response, what she gets is sailing gloves. So it kind of then removes the kind of, that gloss. And it's like, now I'm looking at you like, so yeah, I think that might have also contributed to the very beginning of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got to warm up the engine, and the engine gone cold now. So with that little gifts that you bought at the very beginning, so that's also a part that plays in it as well. Go for it. You want to say something, Crystal? You want to open your mic? Or you gonna say that?
Y'all know my facial expressions. That's like Haley. Didn't Haley get Jacob a $10 hat, and Jacob got her a tennis bracelet?
The bracelet, yeah.
Like, even people were like questioning whether it was $200 or $900. It doesn't matter. That $10 hat that he got at the gas station, that she got at the gas station, what was it, $800 or whatever? That's to your point. That sets her mind frame for like, who is this guy? Like, yeah, and I think it all went downhill from there. Yeah, that's it.
Trey, you want to say something?
I know we kind of going on Clint because Clint's kind of easy, but it still bothers me that Gina is saying one thing to a certain set of people and a whole nother thing at a different time. Something's a little off going on there. I'm like, if you don't like the guy, you don't like the guy. Well, you telling him almost, I really don't like you. You ain't my type. Ooh, Ginger's like, okay. But you telling everybody else, oh yeah, he's so cute, he's attractive, this. I'm like, okay, what's going on here then? Do you like him or not? Why are you confusing us? Are you confusing yourself? Like, what are we doing here? I think it was the chest hair. It might have been a turnoff. Everybody don't like that. Who knows? I don't know. But it's something's bothering me with her. Clint is just, yeah, he's gonna put his foot in his own mouth because he believes he's not just privileged. He believes himself to be privileged. You know what I'm saying? That's the real difference. He believes it and acts like it. So when he starts to feel rejection from her, how is he going to respond? As that, because I was looking at him. It's interesting. He was, especially this episode, he was paying attention to what she was saying. He was looking at her, really listening to her, what she's saying. Because even especially when she was going in about the work, he was like, he even made a comment like, "Ooh, so all work, you just work a lot. You just all about work." Like, okay, what else do you like to do? Like, she just kept talking about work. So that's why I said earlier, like, I think he's sensing that she might not like him all that much. I can kind of see it in his face a little bit when she's talking. He's just like, it seems like after the first meeting, he talked himself into liking her. Because you could tell he wasn't really feeling her in the beginning, like immediately. But it's one of those instances, okay, you find something that Gina's not ugly, but you find something that you might like about the person. Like, oh, okay, you know what? She ain't that bad. I mean, I kind of like that body. Okay, she got a little, okay, I like this. All right. Beautiful eyes. Okay, yeah. I'm working myself into it. Airris is doing the same thing, but we'll get to him. He's doing the exact same thing. I don't think he was feeling her either, but now all of a sudden he wanna get in between something. Okay, but yeah, but Clint, yeah, it's about to blow up between them two, and it ain't gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty.
I'm hearing you. Seaway. What's good,
Hey.
Seaway? What's good, B? Loving the hair. We're talking about Gina and Clint. What's your thoughts, Gina and Clint?
I know this.
I know that look. Do you want to give you a prompt?
I really try to be prepared. I just know Gina talk about Clint ain't her type. I need a clip with them two.
I didn't see what's gonna like. She said, "Ah, shit."
The hair is fire, too. Right? The hair is fire.
Okay, 'cause I just came from a mentoring thing, mentoring some law students.
Oh,
Oh, I appreciate
That's
it.
why I'm a little. That's why I'm a
You
little
look good
tired.
though.
Thank
No,
you.
you're good, man. You look good.
This
Man.
is all day makeup. This is the makeup from this morning. Okay.
Baby, listen, whatever is using to set, it's working.
Look. I'll give y'all the secret on the setting spray.
Not you giving us a secret. You better tell Gina this rate.
It's the Revolution setting spray. That's all you need.
You need to Revolution spray. I'll get you a clip. Don't worry, so you can remember. Here we go. I got one here. For you. All right, there we go. Let me get it for you. In the meantime, Sean's also coming through as well. So, hey guys,
Hey,
fantastic, lovely stuff. Got a lovely crew together. All right, here's a little clip of Gina and Clint.
Bring like, I'll wake up with like a list.
Yeah.
Like, I'll like start doing my like to-do list right when I
Yeah.
But even now, like for the honeymoon and everything, I left my work phone there. It was like the first time I left everything. So this is gonna be like,
yeah, that Negro was looking at her like, when she started saying about the whole I have a list when I wake up, and in his mind, I know he said, this shit's gonna go down the hand.
She wants an attaboy. She wants a pat. She was like, good girl. She wants something like that.
Ain't gonna get for Clinton, that's for sure. Clinton ain't the one.
I tried to defend her last time about the work stuff. It does seem like she got a lot of work conversation going on. But devil's advocate, my honeymoon was the first time I left my computer at the house, like on a vacation, since I became a lawyer. And it honestly was like a life-changing experience to be able to leave my computer, because it seems like honeymoons and funerals are the only things that corporate America, respects anymore. So to be able to leave my computer at home is something that I talked about a lot, because it was like such a unique experience. So it's kind of like I felt her a little bit, but also he just don't seem like a man who just cares about none of this stuff. So she's not reading her audience. Does that make sense? Like I feel her, but she's not reading her audience. So I don't know.
That's fair. Sean, jump in.
Yeah, I think it was overkill, but I think, listen, I give people some grace, and I'll give her grace on this moment. Sometimes we just want to bump our gums, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're laying in bed, with your partner, and you just want to talk. So she was just talking and bumping her gums. So I think in the grand scheme of things, if it continues to be a narrative about work, then, let that be a Rihanna song, all right? And just relax. It's time for us to get to know each other, Come and talk to me. I want to get to know you, girl. That's the song we should be singing. Don't be telling me about your work, okay?
Let me run a clip for you guys, so you can.
Mark handsome. I've just never been someone that's been like immediately attracted to lighter hair, like even blonde, like or ginger hair. In my last relationship, he had blonde hair and a red beard. And it was like one of those things that the physical attraction, it wasn't someone that I was immediately like, that's the one.
Right.
But
she put gun finger, trigger fingers. That girl is hood. That girl is hooded and hood. She's got the under hoodedness. I didn't even clock it till now. I watched it again, but when this gun fingers came, I said she's got the undercover hood in her.
You didn't peep the nose ring told me all I needed to see.
That is very true. I didn't even. You know what? I wouldn't put together. You're right.
I remember this scene, guys, and I was trying to figure out why she felt the need to say all that to that man's family. I mean, I I understand it was true. And I can't remember if they asked her. Did they ask her, was she attracted to him? Before I go left, did they ask her that?
I'm not sure they did.
The first guy did.
Oh, he did.
What did
First
he
guy.
ask her?
You know, did you like what you see basically when you first saw him? Yeah, the first one definitely asked.
Oh, well, okay. If they asked, I guess, you know, she's not required to lie.
Not if they asked.
I don't know. I probably would have been saying all that. I would have tried to work my way around that situation. And I can tell you what, that petty patty that is Clint is gonna make her pay for her talking about she ain't attracted to him. With everything that she say, what is it until you do right by me? Everything that Gina is saying about this man, about her not being him not being her type, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but Clint is not the type of person I think is gonna take it on the chin. I think he's gonna find a way to be petty about this whole situation. That's my prediction. He gonna make her pay for her saying she don't like gingers like that.
Yeah, but she told him to his face too, you know.
Yeah,
right.
He's asking for it.
He gonna make her pay.
So she she said something to the family, and then she gonna go tell that right to him. Like, you know, I just think people have to be very cautious. And Married at First Sight, you know, you're meeting somebody for the first time, so you leave yourself open to everybody's perception. So, you know, Gina, the people in glass houses shouldn't start throwing too many stones, right? You know, I think don't get too specific and, you know, talk about you gave somebody a chance and here we go. Well, I dated somebody before and, you know, he really wasn't my type, but I got to know his personality.
I knew you were coming with this. I was like, is Sean going to resist or is he going to just keep it moving?
It's like, here.
Let him know again. Let him know again, sir. Tell him again, sir.
Same thing. Like,
no.
I thought Sean had risen above. I guess
No.
not.
It was weird. I had a quick question, like, who is talking to another person's family and you excessively start talking about your exes and how they look, this, that, and third, what you weren't attracted to? You're supposed to be talking about the guy you're currently with here, your new husband. Yes, you going on and on about the exes. Like I was like, okay, she's not doing well.
I think she was trying to convince herself that she don't mind the redhead, you know. I think it all boils down to don't ask people about what they think about other people's appearance and about your appearance. If they don't share, they don't care to share. So, I mean, that's just like my rule. Like if somebody didn't say I was cute, I'm not going to be like, do you think I'm cute? Because if they thought I was cute, they would have told me I was cute. If she thought her husband was cute, she would have said that already. So I just feel like sometimes the unknown is better than the known. Don't be asking questions that, you know, you wouldn't want to be broadcasted about your family member or friend on national TV. Because I'm a Sagittarius, and if you ask me to my face, do I think somebody's cute? Like if you put me on the spot and make me lie, I'm not gonna lie to you. So please don't put me in that position.
You know, you gotta be a politician, as someone said. You know what I mean? You gotta be a politician. You gotta answer around the way. She was a bit too honest. You know what I mean? She was a bit too honest. And I don't know. This is new to me that white folk just be, be just canceling each other for hair color. I mean, I thought we had problems in our community.
Are you kidding? The blonde, brunette, redhead thing is real, you know, in their, you know, culture. It is it's a thing. And also there's codes, right? So if you say I like blondes, that usually means you like thin, petite blondes, right? Because Gina ain't that far from blonde, right? You know, she's probably what people would consider maybe dirty blonde, you know, so it ain't, you know, if that comes up, when a man says he likes blondes, that means he likes thin white blondes, you know, that's all.
That's like Airris talking about his celebrity crush is Lauren London, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah, we know what that's code for.
I know what that means.
You know what another code out there is also? I take a little bit of time to get to warm up, or you know what, for me,
That
it takes me a little bit of time to get. It's bullshit. You're
that ain't
lying.
even cold,
Okay?
bro. What that is lying. That is lying and gaslighting, because
Okay, lying, gaslighting.
she is an elite level gaslighter. Okay. And I said that we were going to leave that word somewhere between 2021 and 2022, but it deserves to be resurrected and get used to it. I'm be calling out all the gaslighters. She's an elite level gaslighter, because she done told that dude to ask for a kiss and he did, and guess what? She shot him down. Elite level gaslighting at its best. That's it. So Kirsten's gonna play with us all day long. That's all she's gonna do. So get ready.
You are not gonna leave this word gaslight. You gonna really light up the place with that.
I'm not gonna lie. I know we're not on her yet, but that was elite level gaslighting. I couldn't even take up for her.
Y'all can tell it made me so mad. I knew it. I couldn't.
She's giving Jasmine. She's definitely giving Jasmine energy, and I think we're gonna get that energy all season. Then once she found out that he a little different, it's gonna get worse. I think she's figuring that out right now. I think she's gonna figure that out next episode. So it's downhill. It's downhill.
Oh, gracious kings!
Poor Shaq. Poor Tink Tink.
All right, let's. I guess we're gonna. Do I have one more clip of them? I think I can jump up. Well, I guess I'll the clip at the very end. Wait, I can get that up. If this thing all out. But yeah, okay. So I don't think I have the clip, guys. Sorry, I thought I had the end clip where they actually showed next week, and she actually. Oh, I think I do. Here we go. Let's see if I can actually get it right though. She really looks like she's gonna say something mad to him. So there we go. Bomber clot. So she actually told him to his face next week, which is going to be really peak. I had no sound on.
Did you want people to hear? Yeah, because we couldn't hear.
My bad. Thank God. You know what? Let me go back. I apologize, guys. I had no sound on. Let's go back. Here we go. Okay. I've taken the sound off so you can hear it now.
Just for you to just naturally talk to me versus talking like at me. I don't really vibe with redheads or like gingery features. Mm-hmm. And not to say you're unattractive, it's just that's what you are.
You know what? When you watch it, it gets kind of worse. You know, like it sounds really bad as well. Like, you know what? It's like, you know what? You're a redhead. You know, it's not that. Listen, not that you're ugly, but you're a redhead. I can only imagine what black people would say if we had our one, but I'm not getting to that.
Look, it was a look away. When a guy looks away, and whatever he was drinking, he was trying to hold the hold the words back. Because I know in his head he was like, I know she ain't going to come for me like this.
I'm gonna light you up. He was really looking
like exactly, because he had to look away. He looked away like, Father God, just give me grace, give her grace.
I'm just wondering what he said to her beforehand, and she just went off. I don't know yet.
No, she's been piping up all since the beginning. Don't give her no grace.
We don't know. We'll have to wait till next week to see what happens in it. But yeah, that girl does not find him attractive at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess maybe that's where his villain arc actually began. All right, let's move it on. Let's move on to Dominique and McKinley. I want to get rid of them because I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what's going over there. So I don't know. There's something in the milk, and I'm not sure what it is. But go for it, Crystal.
He's words of affirmation boy, and she has had either I don't want to say a lot of bad relationships or guys that just don't like her talk. What does she call it? Fiery Italian. She calls it FBI. I don't know. I don't remember what the acronym stands for. But somebody has told her that, you know what, you're a lot to deal with. And that really hit her. And she said she was really young. But I have to say, I did appreciate something he did, because the guy was abusive. That guy, like, if you love me, you let me burn my cigarette into you, or whatever he did. And she has a cigarette burn scar.
Huh? Wait, who are you talking about, Crystal? I got confused.
Oh, that's Nicole
Nicole
and
Chris.
I'm
Chris.
sorry, are we on the wrong people?
Yeah,
Nicole.
Dominique
Dominique
McKinley.
McKinley,
Yeah,
right?
I'll give you a clip.
The white boy.
Oh, the white people. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
I'll give you a clip. That's okay. I'll give you a clip so everyone knows who we are. Oh, that one's the wrong person, but yeah.
Now you're gonna confuse me again. No, I guess she does catfishing. Actually, let me go back to the conversation with her and the parents. This was more of the same we saw last week with so it was her mother, her grandmother, and her aunt, and they were just and I was like, now I feel like somebody is pressing you guys to ask the same doggone questions you asked last weekend to this white guy.
Have you gotten much time to sit and chat with Mac, or just?
He said that he's only dated black, white, and Mexican, but he said, I've never had any luck in that area. So he tried to make it real PC the way he said it. And the mom, McKinley's mother, was looking real salty. And what did she say? That we don't eat catfish. You know, she thinks she's a country girl. And she goes fishing and does all the things. And this woman's still looking at her salty, and she just doesn't. She literally said, I think this is crazy. And she doesn't trust this girl at all. I just get the feeling, I don't dislike her. I just feel like she's young acting. I just think that she's 25. And I just think that she's 25. I said, this is not going to work. That's all I can remember, because I feel like they're trying to feel, she's trying to feel around it, but she also told the parents or the family, my mother signed me up for this. So that's another reason why they're just like, you're not ready. That's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, she got on my nerves with the catfish. That's almost like bringing up fried chicken and watermelon. It's like, why are you just trying to be a trope? Like, there's more to being black than catfish and fried chicken. You know, granted, I love me a good piece of catfish. I just bought some the other day. And I do love a good piece of fried chicken as well. However, you know, it's like this company, come on, it's annoying. Like, but I just have to remember, like, she's very, very young. And I just can't stand that somebody is gaslighting us. We're being gaslit again, because who gaslighted her, gaslighted us? And with this, she's an old soul. She's not an old soul. There's nothing old soul about her. She's very young seeming to me. Very sweet girl. You know, I don't have anything negative to say about her, but it's just that she does not seem set up for this process. And McKinley has no stability. His elitist mama needs to focus on her son and help him rub two coins together, right? Because it looks like she just probably spoiled him and he was entitled his whole life. That's why he's able to flounce around town and do next to nothing and sleep and stay in his parents, friend's parents' house. That's privilege all day, reeks of privilege. So this is nothing but drama, and we're just gonna laugh, because ain't nothing old about her and ain't nothing stable about him. So she's gonna get everything she doesn't want, and I don't even know what he wants.
Yep. You know what? And this is a good conversation. I didn't even realize. But yeah, no, just as well. Like, I think Dom and McKinley. I guess more McKinley because we got a bit more information out of him, or maybe I wasn't paying attention to Dom's one. But McKinley obviously has dated Latino women, and I was like, and then he said obviously he hasn't had as much luck with the black women. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say, in all honesty, Latino women are different from black women. Okay, so he said no. He said no. He said no. Do you think they're the same, Sean?
Very, very similar. Very, very looks wise, again, there might be a little code in this, right? Because looks wise, depending on where the Latina woman hails from, some can be very European looking, and others can look a little more like us, right? So Dominican women
look wise, but behavior.
Again, the behavior ain't much different. The code name for Latina women is spicy. Saucy, they're spicy, which black women, we know our sisters spicy too. So there's not a whole lot of difference. It's an aesthetic thing. Now, what I will say, because I have had experience with both and good experiences with both, but what I will say is that Latina women historically will do a little more romancing up front, right? So they have learned or are more tapped into the art of seduction up front. Now, it may wane later on down the line, and they're going to reveal their true selves, but there is an element of catering that is accepted, is okay, is part of the culture, right? So that's sometimes where you see men get lured in by that, but they're still very spicy, very, very outspoken. They say what they think. So personality wise, it's not a whole lot of differences,
Okay. So why do you think he's having the difference between the Latino and the black?
It's looks. That's what I'm telling you. It's code for looks.
Okay.
They look, he's probably, especially whether he came from Michigan or Tennessee, maybe he's interacted with Latino women that look a very specific way, because some Latina women, you can look at them and you won't know that they are Latina, or they may look Latina, but they have a lot of Eurocentric features. So they can pass, they got the hair that they jump in the pool. They're going to be good, So I'm just speculating, because to me, it doesn't, it's not making a lot of sense to me. And when I hear that, I'm trying to decode. And I know as men, sometimes we have to be safe, and he's a white man, right? So he's not going to win any points talking about a black woman's looks, a Spanish woman's looks. He has to toe the line and be very, very careful about what he says. So that's my inference. I could be wrong, but that's my inference.
No, that's fine. That's good. I like that. Good decoding. Onu, jump in for me. Good breakdown.
I think, as much as I don't like the couple, I think it's more the family dynamic. I know that's the issue. Like, we're getting the mom, Dominique's mom with all the Rachel and Juanito, and then you have Mac's mom, like upper class, their type of mindset. I don't see them being able to knock it. If it's this strong right now, this is something that, both people have to be strong enough to be like, you know what, our families might not be supportive, but we're going to have to make sure that we love each other and let them know what they want to do. You can see both sides are kind of trying to run narrative of what this relationship is going to be. And I think that's the downfall. I think part of it is Dominique is, I don't want to use age. I just think inexperience. Like, I think that's the key thing here. I don't see her having enough experience to know exactly what she wants. Every single time she talks about relationships, it's like, my mom said this, therefore I do this. It's never what she wants. And and if I were to ask her in an ideal world what she wants, I don't know if she's on this show. And then number two, you look at McKinley. McKinley's probably had his silver spoon kid throughout his entire life, and this is the first time he's ever going to have to have responsibility for somebody else, and he's failing left and right. He's letting other people dictate what it is he wants and not wants. And something's off. I don't know what to say it is. I don't like the fact they're making this like a more Rachel thing when not to be. Sometimes it's just a not good match, and I kind of feel like it's more how was this couple matched in the first place. Like, I don't see, You can see with other couples. I don't see it with this one.
Peace out on you. Trey, what are you saying? Oh, Seaway's mic's open. Sorry, apologies. Go for it, Seaway.
Oh, no, it's okay. Well, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't chime in as your resident Afro Latina.
Not
but
remiss.
you know, I'm pretty sure, partially to Sean's point, I think we always have to caveat this conversation that being Hispanic or Latino or Latinx, it's not a race, which I feel like we all know. But when we talk about it, we do have to state that because it's not a race. I am pretty sure that he has been dating a lot of Latino women who are more white identified or can blend in more, I guess, to Sean's point. They're I mean, if you're dating someone that's Ted Cruz adjacent, I mean, their experience and your experience probably will be quite similar. If their intent is to blend. But if you're dating someone who's like Lala Vasquez or other Afro Latinas, I mean, it's not going to be much of a difference. I mean, there are cultural differences, food differences. I mean, there are different aspects. I'm not going to say everybody is the same, but all in all, you're going to have a pretty difficult time blending cultures if you're from that background versus if you identify as a white Hispanic. So I'm pretty sure he was dating people who, by their last name, that you know they're Hispanic, but otherwise you maybe wouldn't know. Because culturally, even though like there's a lot of Mexicans, I wouldn't say they're similar to Black culture, but they also have a very, very different culture than white people. So I would wonder how that would work either with his family. So that's just kind of my opinion. But as we're on the topic with the race thing, you know, again, old girl's family is getting on my nerves. Grandma is adorable, but she's even agitating me. What's that? That's scaring me. Crystal, what
What's
did you
wrong?
do?
Oh yeah, something happened with her camera. She was caught in the Matrix.
Oh gosh, that scared me. Yeah, that threw me all the way off. But old girl's mama and grandma keep bothering about this race thing. I just really need to leave it alone. Again, they purposely try to pawn their daughter off, and they keep wanting to bring up this topic, and you know it's really freaking annoying. And the mama is clearly elitist, clearly classist, and clearly is frustrated with her son doing this process. And I think she's kind of being rude to his new wife. I don't think she's trying to be, but I think that's all going into the fact that this is just a bad match. I forgot who said this, but you know, them falling apart is going to be about everything and probably race last, because the age differences, the class differences, the background differences. She's young, he's older. She actually seems to be more focused. He seems to be all over the place. I just don't see them working. So, and then you're throwing race in on top of it. For an interracial couple to work, many would argue that you have to be even more solid because you're adding in extra layers on top of other differences. And then you got to add in the fact that there's a race component. And then her mother, despite being a 2-time marrier or dater or of a white man, is making it a big deal. And then on his side, I'm pretty sure it's a big deal to them, but they can't say that because that wouldn't be right. You know, it's just, yeah, no. This is no Lauren and Cam. I think this is a ticking time bomb. Oh, yeah. And then high vibe, the returning to Michigan. We didn't talk about that. Yeah, the returning to Michigan and how they want him to go back to Michigan. Now they're not, you know, they have geographical issues as well. That's another issue. They just have a lot of problems. A lot of problems.
Appreciate that, Seaway. Thank you. Trey, go for it.
I don't have too much for them. Everybody pretty much said it. The only thing I really noticed that McKinley definitely was nervous trying to say the right thing to these black people. You could see it all on his face. He was struggling. He was struggling hard. And I'm not gonna lie, a part of me was like, why? Well, really it was more the mom, but why were they trying to go so hard on him? You know, when y'all would want to pawn your daughter off to this process. It's a bit weird. Like Dominique is young. That's her problem. Really, she's just too young for this. She just is. Um, the real issue it has to do with her mom. It stems from there. That's where all the problems are going to be. It's going to trickle down from her through Dominique and her youngness, and he's going to have to deal with it with his family behind him, telling him, "Oh, this is not the one. You know, this ain't it. You are polluting our bloodline." Ooh. You know, you kind of get that feel where every time, especially every time his mom talk, I get that feel like, ooh, this girl is polluting us. She must go. You know, I'm like, but yeah, there's heavy racial undertones in this relationship that they are not talking about, don't want to talk about. It's a minefield. They don't want to mess with it. You can tell. We may get some of it. You know, we may get some of it, but yeah, I ain't got too much for them. They're not gonna make it. No, they ain't gonna make it.
Appreciate it, Trey. JR, welcome to the conversation, man. Talking about Dominique McKinley. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, I agree with what Trey said. Definitely bits of what Seaway said too. For me, I get the same energy from McKinley's mum as I do from Airris' cousin. Like they're straight anti the marriages, right? So I noticed McKinley's mum's facial expression. She was not impressed at all during that meeting with Dominique. And, I think the cultural difference would probably make it a bit daunting if it's the first time they've dated in that race, right? Dated outside and dated in that race. But I think Dominique's mum is definitely trying to kind of live vicariously through Dominique and, hope that she lands this guy. So at least she's optimistic. But I think the way McKinley's mum and family were, I definitely agree with Trey. It seems like they didn't envision him ending up in a relationship like this, in a marriage like this. So, and that also speaks to why she offered him 50 G's, 50 grand. Like, that's something that speaks desperation. She definitely didn't want this to happen. She'll probably be celebrating when it does break up. I don't see it working at all. And I think Dominique is young, probably too young to be in this type of process. Like I usually equate the couples to be a bit older. 25 is a bit too young, in my opinion. And I think that's definitely going to play a factor in how sensitive she may be or how she approaches certain things when they get into more deeper conversations.
Can I say something? To me, it's not just about her age. Like, I was 26 when I got married, and I was ready. I knew I was. Point blank, period. It's her maturity level. It's just what she exudes. Like, she is just young. Sometimes it's hard for me to imagine that she's 25. Sometimes she acts like she just turned 20. So that's what I sense from her. That's the problem I see. I'm like, yo, she is a little girl. She's still just a little girl. That's the main issue. And McKinley, he just, you know what? McKinley, it just hit me. That man was running from his family. He's trying to get away. He's trying to get away. Just look at his mom, how she's acting. It's like, yeah, this is what I had to live with. I'm trying to live a different life. No, I'm trying to live a different life. Free me. That white man want to be freed. Okay, that's the real problem. He trying to get out of here. It's like, somebody save me. Like, ew, yeah. I think he really want to jump in that black family. He just don't know how to act with it. He just like, this is my first time. Just somebody take me in. Somebody. I'm living with a whole nother family already. Just take me in. That's him. But yeah.
I hear you on that, bro. Someone said, "Free me." I hear you. Ain't no lie, no cap. I got a clip obviously of I think the mum when. Hopefully it's the right one. Hopefully it's the right part. I got it. Let's see.
Not as much time as I would have. We did talk a little bit last night, like when and
Okay, I didn't capture the right part, but I'll come back and I'll give you guys the part where she shows her other side of her behavior, because she got a little bit annoyed, didn't she? She got a bit annoyed at the fact that her son was taking this process. I generally do believe that I think the mum is like, you know what? This is not where we expected you to end up. Okay? We come from a particular family with a particular set of rules. Okay? You know what we're about. All right? You know what this family values are. So you coming on the show is destroying the family values. Okay? You coming on the show to choose Latin or black women is also an issue. Okay? You know, that's not what we reared you up for. And yeah, I think you're right. I do feel like he's running away. And it's almost as if they came to come and collect him and tell him, you are coming back home with us. Okay. So they were like, listen, we don't know how we're going to do it. And we don't really care how we're going to do it. Just to let you know, Dominique, he's coming home with us back to Michigan. Okay. So I don't know what you're going to do, but can you come to Michigan? We know you can't. So don't worry about that. We taking our son back. Like, that's how it felt like. You know what I mean? It felt like that. So, you know, he's been rebelling for a very long time. You know, he didn't go to the traditional route that his other siblings went to. You know, he's been trying to do things his own way. And that includes dating as well. So maybe, you know, even him dating, you know, in the ethnic pools, it's a part of that rebellion. You know what I mean? So, you know, I won't be surprised if he, you know, part of his dating of other particular ethnicities is simply as a rebellion thought. Like, you know what? You ain't gonna control me. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna choose me a particular queen. Yeah. So, you know, that could also be a part of it as well. You know what I mean? So who knows at that part. Any more additions to McKinley and Dominique?
And she was another. I don't know if we really dived into it, but seems like he's not her normal type, because she made that comment on the after party where she said she normally dates the guys tall, dark, and handsome with a beard. I didn't know. You know, me and Celia were talking earlier, and she thought that might be code for black. So maybe, perhaps, but. The part that tripped me out was if she's dating black guys, she's talking about she needs him to do all this hunting and all this other stuff. I'm like, baby girl, ain't nobody hunting at 25, you know, or 35. You maybe, but the average person ain't running around here hunting. Okay, that is a very, very unique and different hobby. Now, if that's what you enjoy, then go off. But don't expect that, you know, oh, well, if we get together, you know, I hope he enjoys hunting because I want to do that. Yeah, you can do that. If that's something you have a good old time doing, go ahead and hunt and bring it back. You know, go hunt the catfish. And guys, I'm not stupid. I know you don't hunt catfish. Clearly, you fish for them. But whatever you hunting, I don't know. You want to cook it? I'm not sure. But you can go off and do that. don't expect everybody to be hunting with you, or, you know, that's a deal breaker. But Sandria, not even, how many black dudes that's in the demographic of 25 to 35 is hunting?
I mean, Sean and I, like he said, we debated this earlier. I do think in my Tennessee, Kentucky folks, y'all chime in, but I do think that black people there do hunt. But I don't know the age range, but you know, the few that I do know, and Atlanta don't count as the South, so y'all don't chime in. We're not talking to y'all. I'm talking about like people in Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama. Y'all can, I'm sorry, Trey, but y'all can, not Atlanta. Y'all might as well be where I'm at. Y'all can chime in and answer that. But also I do think that tall, dark, and handsome, the way she was describing it, she wanted to say black man so bad. She really doing her best not to say black man, but I think what happened, I think that mama projected all of her self-hate on her daughter, filled out that application. I think that mama selected white man. I do not believe that that's what she selected. I don't even think she said open. I think that mama went and selected white man. I don't even think that's who she dates. I think she dates black men, or at least men of color. Is my opinion. Yeah, in Texas, I think the young dudes do hunt, but y'all let me know.
Well, I'm from South Carolina, live in Georgia. I do hunt. I went last year, caught some deer. It was nice. Had some nice deer meat.
South Carolina counts. I just ruled out Atlanta.
You eat venison?
Okay. Anything, honestly, you're right about Atlanta. You're not country unless you outside of 285. Outside 285?
285, yes.
Yeah.
So, Trey, you cook that venison?
Of course, man. What you talking about? I made a nice chili. What you mean?
Oh, nice. Okay. All right.
Nice chili.
Then I stand corrected. There are young black men out here that are actively hunting.
You know, I'm getting on the older side, but you know, every now and then try to get out there. Every now and then.
Okay.
I'm from Beaufort, South Carolina, but I live in Atlanta, and they hunt where I'm from. Where I was born in Beaufort, they hunt. And Atlanta's not a state, y'all. They're outskirts of Georgia.
It might as well be.
I didn't say it was state. I just said I ruled out Atlanta.
It might as well be.
I didn't say I ruled out Georgia. Right. I said I ruled out Atlanta.
They try to treat Atlanta like DC prefect. They really try to. They really do.
Pretty much.
I just don't want nobody talk about they know a dude from Atlanta and he don't hunt. I had to cut that off right before we even started.
I agree with you.
Okay, wait. I'll be fair. I know a few that do. They're in the city, but you know they go outside to go get some meat. You know, there's a few that do still hunt. They group Atlanta is still country. There are still some guys.
But in that age range, though, let's say
now that might be a little older. Some of them might be a little older. The younger guys, they ain't really doing it like that. But over 35, probably when they were younger, they got grandparents. They done seen some stuff. I mean, I was 5 years old when my grandma took me outside and slaughtered a pig for the first time. She said, "You're gonna learn today." I said, "Oh, okay." I learned today. I learned something. I learned where meat came from. I was shocked. But Wilbur was good. Wilbur was good. Yes, his name was Wilbur. I was looking for Charlotte and everything.
Hey, listen, I'm always open to new things. And for anybody out there, I had to set Miss Felicia Cooper straight. My family is from South Carolina.
Don't do Miss Felicia.
Let me talk. I got this. I spent every summer down south, Edgefield, South Carolina. Okay, every summer growing up. So trust me, I know Southern folk. And I just didn't know any of my cousins to be, anybody that was my age or younger. I didn't know them to be hunters. Now, their fathers and my grandfather, absolutely. They had hogs and everything, right? And they was killing them and we was eating them. But us, yeah, no. it's I just didn't know it to be true. But listen, at the end of the day, hey, there was some folks that did, and maybe I just didn't interact with them. So now I know different.
Good on you guys for hunting as well. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
They hunt in London.
Coach are like
Huh?
back to the topic. We ain't hunting over here.
I'm gonna definitely cut that part and put it on a a little chop up section. Definitely.
No, please.
These black folk be hunting, guys. They still hunting down here. No. London, maybe not. Countryside, yeah, they probably still do hunt. I mean, they obviously years ago they banned fox hunting. So people who used to use foxes to hunt and stuff, it was bloodhounding, but they still do hunt in the countryside. You know, they do their little shooting and stuff. You know, they do a little something. You ain't gonna get that in the center of London. You're not going to get Londoners hunting. If you do, you will be considered barbaric. I mean, one or two Africans have unfortunately shown themselves to be hunting little rabbits, and it's turned out really bad. So don't do it in London. Do it in the countryside. And you can do that. But yeah, we don't necessarily do hunting in the UK like that. All right. Fantastic. Good on you guys. Good on you. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to Nicole and Chris. I did feel some way towards Nicole today. When she told us her story, I could understand where she was coming from and why she had the energy she did. Like some of the self-worth that she said that she had to build back up again after some of the boyfriends that she had, and especially the one that said, if you love me, you let me put cigarette. That really was disheartening. I can't tell you the truth. I mean, can't tell you anything different. It was so sad to hear that. You know what I mean? And anybody out there, if you're telling your partner that you can, to say that they should show you how much they love you by doing that kind of nonsense, putting you're physically harming your partner. It's physical abuse. It's abuse, actually. It's domestic violence. In all honesty, you're abusing your partner. That's it's sickening. Forget toxic. That was abusive. What that partner did to her. So it was sad to see her in that and to tell her that story. But yeah, it was good to see that these two were kind of bonding and him taking it slow. Because Nicole was ready to bust the pipes. I'm telling you, she ready to bust it wide open. Listen, if Chris gonna give it, she gonna take it. That's what I'm trying to say. But I like the fact that he's taking it slowly. So she actually has to stop and actually discuss and actually be open with her feelings. I think she actually needs it more than she realizes. You know what I mean? And so I do appreciate Chris, taking his time and, not opening the floodgates, and letting Nicole just, break him, because that's what she gonna do. She gonna break him, Yeah, she gonna break his back. Poor boy. Crystal, talk to me. What you saying?
Okay, this is the couple that I was talking about earlier, and I got them confused. You're right; it was abusive, and I do like the fact that Chris kissed her abuse scar. I was like, oh, to me, I'm sorry, but that kind of just made me feel. I was like, he's sweet, and I just and y'all can get at me for this, but I was like, he's very much words of affirmation boy. He really was wanting her to feel comfortable, and he was being really sweet. And I said this last week, she's gonna drive him crazy, and she's gonna be just too much or just a lot for him. She even started with the sex talk, are we gonna have sex on our honeymoon? And I really think that Chris, he wants it to be organic. He wants it to, and almost the way he looked at her when she said it, I was like, I feel like you're coming off crass to him. And any other guy, if this was Airris, he would be down for it, but not Chris. Chris really wants this to be organic, he wants them to fall into the bed, but she's just are we having sex on our honeymoon? And I'm attracted to my husband. And she was just doing a lot. But I did like their conversation. I feel like she's been I think she's been disappointed a lot. What did she say? That when I'm on vacation, I'm my full self. And a lot of people that when they see my full self, they don't like it. And I don't want to say, oh, I can see what she means, but we've been saying she's gonna be a lot for him. She's gonna be a lot. So, but she's not understanding the, small doses. She just doesn't get that. And you don't know this man and just, ease into it. She's just gonna be her full self, and it's gonna be a lot for him. But I think that he really wants this to work, but they have connected him with a Tasmanian devil, and I'm just, wow. I kind of feel bad for him, because I was like, that is so sweet that he looked at he listened to her, and he didn't, and I didn't expect him to make her feel bad about it, but he just didn't feel any kind of way. He said, you should never ever feel that way. And I was like, oh, I really like him. So I was like, it is going to be hard. He's going to have to turn into, what's his name? John Bao and Johnny, for me to just not like him. I really liked that scene. So that was it for now, unless I remember something else. I was like, that really touched me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Crystal. It was very nice, and he handled the situation delicately. But he don't want her, He don't want her. Because, I'm sorry, that whole let's wait, let's take our time, I don't want to rush into this. That's code for I need to build up to the sexual attraction. Sorry, those are my thoughts. And and what I will say is that after hearing Nicole's story, my heart does go out for her. That's a very traumatic experience to have. So I understand why she's on the show, and I'm hoping the best for them. And I think Chris has a kind heart. So I think he will be gentle with her, however it goes. But I think right now he don't want her, But what I'm not going to do is, after hearing that story, I'm not going to, say anything like super negative about her, because that really touched me. And just for somebody to go through that and to be told you're worth nothing, that means that your everything that happened before that set the stage for those things to happen. Because anybody that's in abuse like that and is in a situation like that, there's a lot of things that lead up to that. And her backstory must really be, a challenging one. So I give her a lot of credit and grace for getting on this process. But I will say that let's wait, let's hold off on it. And her being all ampy, let's go, means that he might want to and he might get there, but it means right now I ain't necessarily fooling with you.
Did the guy tell her you should be lucky I'm with you or something like that? The ex? Ooh, she went through it.
Who's next? Who wants to talk about this?
I think like the fact that she said it was a very early relationship that she had, right? Where this happened. So she's been carrying this trauma for a long time. And she's very chatty. She's a talker. And I don't see any problem with Chris not wanting to be intimate with her that night or right there and then, because she was very vulnerable with sharing what she had just shared, right? So it's better to not be intimate in that same time span. Let it happen organically, not when she's in a state of feeling low. Because if the relationship goes off key, then she can revert back and say, oh, well, you slept with me when I was at my weakest point, my lowest point, and all that. So that avoids that. I think Chris is a genuinely cool dude, and I like Nicole as well. I like them as a couple. I think the reason why I like them is because they've organically kissed, embraced, talked to each other, hugged each other, held each other, you know, and the process is, it must be very daunting, as I said before, right? To just meet someone and that's who you're married to. But they've hit it off very well compared to the other couples, in my opinion. So I think that there's a good chance that they stay together, because he seemed to be understanding when she was sharing her dating history, and or that particular story. And also, like I said, I give him credit because he didn't take advantage of her when she said, "Oh, so what, are we going to have sex tonight?" You know, yeah, like she may have wanted it, he may have wanted it, but it wasn't the right time to do it. And they still have time to get to know each other and get to that point.
You know, I think so far this is the only couple that I think has the best, as it stands right now, has the best chance of making it. At least the best chance. The code is definitely into Chris more than he is into her. I don't think by much, but you know, I could tell Chris is he's trying to take the correct steps of, you know, of going through this. Okay, you know, I ain't just gonna, you just told me about this traumatic experience. You know, no, that would be kind of shitty to sleep with you because you are super vulnerable. JR is right. He was smart not to. That's not the right time. That's not the right time. But it is it was getting kind of funny to me because she was ready to smack tummies with him right now. Like, you know, yes, Crystal, smack tummies, tummy smackers is what we call them. Like she was ready to go in on sound effects, Coach O, sound effects. Do it again. Like she was ready to go in. And did you see her shoulders when she flexed up? I was like, oh Lord have mercy. She gonna hurt that boy. She gonna hurt that boy. And he might like it. That's the funny thing. He might like it. She gonna put him in the full Nelson, like, yeah, it's going down. You know what? I like I said, I think they're gonna work. You ain't gotta turn off your temp, Crystal. It's okay. I know you're laughing hard, it's fine. But you know, I think they're gonna work. I have noticed that the more she's liking Chris, the more the more trepidation she has to showing her true self. Like she's getting scared. You can see it in her eyes. She's trying to warn him a little bit, like, oh, my true self come out, because she's what's the best way to put it? There is no best way to put it. I can tell she can be an asshole when she wants to. You can see that she can be an a-hole. Her daddy kind of got it. You know, you can see it. Her daddy kind of got it. So, you know, yeah, she can get just like him real quick. You know, but she's smart enough, like, okay, I can't do this to this man. I actually like this man. I can't do this to this man right off the bat. We got to ease into this. So I think that, yeah, I think they're gonna work. They're gonna have some bumpy roads. Cause even though Chris is kind of giving off, I know people want to think kind of simpish behavior, and some of that may be true. But like I think we said this, I think it was last week we said this. Like Chris is one of those people, he has a wall. Like he's only gonna take but so much. And then you're gonna see the real Chris. You know, you know, I hope Nicole ready. Cause he's one of those people, you push it to the limit, and you're gonna see something you weren't ready for. I could tell he's one of those people, you know, because I'm somewhat like that myself, you know. I take a lot, but don't push me to the limit. Now, hold on. You know, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be respectful. You know. All right. Let's be adults here. But yeah, I think they're gonna make it. But you know, it's gonna take some It's going to take some effort, just like any other relationship or marriage. It's going to take some effort from the both of them. But I think right now they have the best chance of making it out of the group. So.
Appreciate it, Trey. Yeah. Who's going? See where you're going?
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I mean, I think if anyone's going to make it, it's going to be them. I disagree with Sean that he doesn't like her. I think he is, or doesn't like her yet. I think he is being responsible, and he is taking this process very seriously. And I think his kind of slow movement is a sign of a person who really understands the gravity of their actions and is trying to make sure they do things in an orderly process. That's what I'm getting. I'm also not a man, but I'm not getting that he doesn't like her. I also feel like, and normally I say the oversharing usually doesn't end up well, but in this rare occasion, I think him sharing his past, trauma, or not trauma is a strong word, but his past dealings with his ex-girlfriend, and kind of creating a safe space for her to kind of say what she's been dealing with, or what she's dealt with, was good in this particular case. One, because I believe he's a safe space, but two, I believe a lot of her actions are because of the past things that's happened to her. For example, when people have gone through a lot of abuse, sometimes they're more sexually promiscuous, and they lean into that. And I think that was kind of what she was doing on the honeymoon. I don't think she actually wanted to do that, but because of her past trauma, past abuse, that's kind of what she went to. And by her sharing her background, I really believe that her husband will have a lot more patience and a lot more, he's not going to just want to jump into that with her. He's going to want to make sure that she knows that this is a safe space and a new environment. And I think by her sharing that, they both kind of understand where they're coming from, and they may have more understanding of each other in their actions, because, he's kind of been pushed to the side in the past. She's been burnt by somebody literally in the past. So I think they probably got closer from this conversation, and it was probably for the best. But yeah, I mean, like everyone, her sharing that made me feel really bad that people go through those type of things. And it's sad to see that it affects the way she deals with people. But I hope that this new relationship in a man that has purer intentions will be a great place for her to start. And I really do wish them well. I'm sure they're going to have other dynamic issues like we all do, but it seems like they both are in this process for a genuine reason, which is when you start there, you're already miles ahead of everybody else who have their own motives, looking for a house, fetishes, beards, list goes on. You know what I mean?
What I would clarify is that I don't think that Chris doesn't like her. I do think he likes her. My call out is I don't know if he's full on sexually attracted to her. Again, and I might just be projecting my opinion, and I am open to that thought because you made some great points, but I just, I wanted to make it, clear that I don't think, because he said she's pretty, all of these, niceties that he did share. But to me, it just resonated that could be an option. And again, I'm not dug. I haven't dug my heels in on the fact that that's 100% it, but that's just a call out that I kind of picked up on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, obviously, the situation with Chris and Nicole, I think that, I think Chris does like Nicole. Whether he's sexually attracted, I'm with Sean on this. I don't know how sexually attractive he is. Look, but then again, I'm judging him by my own standards. You know what I mean? I was expecting a little bit more tactile-ish behavior. Even when she says she's on sex, I'm expecting, if you're gonna take it slow, or like you're saying, you might have at least, hey, he said you never know on the thing, but I don't know, the energy was a little bit off for me But you know what I mean? But that could just be, again, me judging by my own standards. You know what I mean? The energy just seemed a little bit off, you know? So, you know, you can be physically attracted, but not sexually attracted. You know what I mean? You can think somebody's pretty, but you may not, you know, your balls might not swell when you see her. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And also as well, just also in that moment, the fact that she also, and maybe he likes it this way, I don't know, but also the fact she led that interaction. So it's like, again, he didn't, you know, and listen, a lot of us men, you know, we want to be able to lead certain charges. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. If you've got a way of, and her way of doing it was not sexy. I'm just going to be real with you. You know, certain women, when they lead it, you're like, shit. That was not, yeah, that was like, you need to stop. Like, you're doing too much. That's like, you know, when that no, take your hands off me, stop. Like, that's what I was getting. It's not the one where you're like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, you get excited when she starts leading it. I didn't get that impression from that interaction with her. But I think, see, where you kind of touched on it a little bit as well. She may, that trauma can lead certain interactions like that as well, you know, and that's why it may also have come out the way it did come out in that instance, that it's not naughty, it's more of a case of almost like, love me, you know what I mean? And that can be, it can come across different, you know what I mean? Rather than come off as sexy and, you know, like, you know, I'm in the moment, it can come off a little bit like you're doing too much, you know what I mean? Because you want to be loved in that moment, you want to be careful, and maybe he's right for just, you know what, not engaging in it, you know, in that instance, you know what I mean? And not jumping at the gun, you know, because of what she tells us later on. So, you know, hopefully, it's just he's a slow burner. But y'all know how I feel about slow burners. I don't believe them. I think people who are slow burners are chatting shit. No, sorry, chatting pup. Honestly, I really do believe slow burners are chatting pup. Because when people start saying they're slow burners, what they really mean is your ass is making me feel slow. Because everybody else been making me go fast. But, you know, just a little something.
Some
Okay,
people
see,
are
we got
slow
Michael Ben
overall,
on the
though.
after.
He gives
Huh?
me slow overall. He seems like everything in his life he takes at a very methodical pace. And I think, to your point,
That's fair.
if you're like that and you see somebody talking about when we're gonna do it, I would be put off. Not, you could be fine as hell, and you talk about when we're gonna do it, I'm gonna be like, can you slow down? You know what I mean? I think that part is unattractive. I don't know if it's just her. I think that thirstiness, that eagerness, that like uneasiness, like you're like 5 years old, is unattractive. But somebody said he hasn't had sex in a year. I mean, he just gives me that. Oh, Trey, you said that? Yeah, he gives me that vibe. That type of person, you know, is moving at their own pace, and they're not going to speed up, you know, for you. You could be fine. They're not going to speed up for you. They have their own way they want to do this. And yeah, versus though Kirsten, who is moving slow in this particular situation. There's a difference.
I was just going to add, like, I think the fact that he hasn't had sex in a year may play a factor in how he prioritizes sex and intimacy in the relationship, right? Because I remember before they met the brides, the guys were kind of ribbing him because he'd gone without for a year. And I think Airris and Clint were saying like 2 weeks, you know, and they were kind of laughing at him about it. And it like maybe he has been abstinent, right? But I think if he have been more into wanting to get the panties off and all of that and take her to bed at that moment, then we could have viewed him as taking advantage of her in that situation. So I think he is kind of just being a bit more cautious, probably waiting to see if when it does happen, it happens organically. And let's be real, it wasn't a seductive. It wasn't like a leading to bed. It was, she was talking blah 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 blah, and then she went, "So are we gonna have sex tonight?" You know, that wasn't sexy at all. Like, he probably just thought like that was just some throwaway comment or whatever, right? So, yeah, I think eventually when they work each other out a bit more, then you may see that flowing. Because like I said, they're already kissing on the lips quite regularly. They're cuddling. He kissed her scar, like everyone alluded to. So yeah, he may actually just be taking his time and just not wanting to jump into bed and kind of blurring the lines on their connection. That's what I get from it.
Last thing, after Seaway spoke and just really thinking about it, I do agree. When a woman is abused like that, especially in one of her earlier relationships, she, you know, the insecurity creeps in. She wants this to work. So she's like, he's not going to like me, the person, so I better sleep with him. Like they lean towards sex. It's the insecurities and the self-esteem. And so she's trying to pull out all the stops, and she probably doesn't know how to do that. So Sean corrected me last time. She's a bull in the china shop. Are we gonna have sex this weekend? Are we gonna have sex on our honeymoon? Like, sis, slow down. Like, and I think that he really wants to be not just methodical, but he really wants to take care, especially after hearing that, take care of her and do this the right way. But because of things that has happened to her in her past, and she feeling that somebody's not going to love her for her, she's going to lean towards sex. And I think that he's seeing that. That's it.
And you know what? Let's be honest here. Like JR was saying a few minutes ago, it has been a year since, according to Chris, since he's had sex. He could be a tad bit nervous about what type of pipe he's going to lay down. Let's just be real about it. You know, he could be a tad bit nervous. She want it. Tummy smack. She want it. Like, you know,
Exactly. It could be a case of him wanting to make sure it's right so he can perform like and not disappoint her in that area,
he's
right?
very smart. He's very smart. He's trying to get in her mind first and then get in her pants. Oh, she gonna be done. She gonna be done. So he's very
She don't care about that. She don't care.
That's the beauty of it, Crystal. She don't care. That's why it's gonna work.
Exactly. If he had said, "Yep, okay, let's go do it right now," then
he's making her wait now.
Exactly. He's going to build up anticipation, and like, you know, he's going to take his time, because ultimately, let's not get it twisted. If it was the other way around and he was like, "So yeah, are we going to have sex on the weekend?" We'll be like, dude.
He'd be Airris.
Exactly. He'll be Airris. So like, yeah, it's better he takes his time. Like, if they really want this to work, yeah, they can't really rush anything. Like, they just have to get to know each other, and then if it happens, if the chemistry's there, then it will happen.
Yeah. Because please don't do all this and give her the limp noodle. It ain't gonna be pretty. You know, it ain't gonna be pretty now, okay?
Yeah, but the timing wasn't there for that. Like,
we can't have al dente.
Exactly. Like,
no al dente.
Yeah, like when she was sharing her, you know, what happened to her, you know, that kiss on the hand, and you know, the kind words and the understanding that he showed, that was enough at that point for them to go to bed after that. You know, like I said, there may have been more of an attachment. She may have attached more to it if they'd had sex after that, you know. So yeah, maybe another day. Live to fight another day, man. That time wasn't the time.
All you need to cut on her. Hold that woman.
You see this comment that Jay Diaz made at the 23-minute mark? That's just what my thought is. You know? I mean, we can have a nuanced conversation, and I think that's great. But for me, this is kind of what it boils down to, right? You know?
No, I don't agree with that statement at all, because it's a mutual thing. It's not that the man has to ask. You just spoke about what's his name, Shaq, asking for a kiss, right? Like asking for the coochie is not something that you should really put yourself out there for, unless you're prepared to get the rejection if she says no, right? And how many times are you gonna be able to bounce back from that rejection? That's gonna affect the way you view intimacy and view her if she keeps rejecting you. And so I think that it's a mutual thing. If it's gonna happen, it will naturally happen organically. Like I said, they seem to be kissing and cuddling, so it will lead somewhere if they're really feeling each other. And they are more passionate and expressive with how they feel physically than the other couples by a long way. So yeah, it'll just be a matter of time for them. There's no rush.
Yeah, I'm not debating. Of course, it has to be mutual, right? So but it's not, and that's my point. It's not mutual, right? She is the one that is ready to go, and he is not. So I think that's the part where I feel like there is room for there to be a disconnect, right? Or there is room for it to be the other side. You all could be very right, but we can't just totally glaze over the fact that he might not be attracted to her. We can't pretend like every man operates like that, and that sometimes, yeah, you can kiss somebody, you could, do all those things on the surface, but sex is the crux of that intense physical connection. And if you don't have it, a lot of times, hey, you might not. And
I agree with that.
There's room in there for it to be for that lack of connection, because it's not that it's mutual or not. I think that it's the begging part, or it's the asking incessantly and the no. He's a nice guy, so he's not going to be one of the other dudes that's going to say, well, she's not normally my type. He's a sensitive, thought-provoking person. He seems to be very empathic, right? The kissing of the scar, all those things. So we're not going to see those very things like somebody like me or someone else might say, hey, listen, I'm just not attracted to her, right? Or she's not my normal type. We're not going to get that from him. So what I'm saying is I just see a part of it that looks under the surface and see that there just might be a slim chance that, yeah, he just might not be that into her. He might be willing, again, just like the ladies say, they could date a guy that's not their type, but they can be open to giving him a chance, but it's going to be a longer process, right? So it's not going to be an immediate upfront where you got that connection, because, hey, there's been times in my life where I was celibate, but when I got with that one that I wanted to do it, I did what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't about, oh, I've been waiting for so long, and now, no, when I saw what I wanted, and it was an opportunity on her side as well, we did what we needed to do. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. You can be a thinking person. You can be somebody that is very caring, and I consider myself to be all of those things. But I know how it is to be with somebody that I'm into, and I know how it is to be with somebody that I'm not. So I can make all the excuses under the sun. I can tell you, oh, I'm really working on my celibacy journey. I'm emotionally unavailable right now. I want to spare you from that. But there's a little code of, I really, you're nice. I like you, but I really don't want you like that. So I'm going to sit down over here.
Listen, we're going to find out in the next couple of days anyway. If Chris don't make her stomach sticky, icky, by the next couple of days, we won't be looking at him then. That's what's going to happen. Because she's ready. She wants him. Right now, she's not the problem. He wants to take it slow. I'm with him. Hey, bro, take your time, get to know this girl. But now we're getting to the honeymoon. Like, okay, all right, listen. Well, how long are we going to be there? About a week? You telling me you're going to go there the whole week? Nothing? Yeah, now we're looking at you. What's going on, bro? To Sean's point, what's going on with you? Now I'm like, okay, do you actually like this girl? Do you really physically want her? Do you want her? That's when Sean's point is going to be like, all right, here we go. He's, something's off. Next couple of days, next couple episodes, we're going to find out real quick. you know, real quick.
Yeah, I like I said, I expect something to happen in the next few episodes, right? But let's be real, that wasn't a sexy moment. There was nothing amorous about that interaction. It was all about her sharing, plucking up the courage to share what she had gone through. And, like, they ain't gonna, no, that ain't turning me on. I don't want to hear about what you went through all them years ago, and then you got burned on your hand with a cigarette, and then I'm looking to go to bed with you. No, but what I think she did was she probably brought up, are we gonna have sex this weekend? Because that may be her go-to when she gets vulnerable. She doesn't want to necessarily go into detail or talk more about what's happened to her. So she covers it up by putting the sex out there, then they can go to bed, then it kind of takes her mind off of what it was that she went through. It's like a way to forget what happened. So, like I said, I just think he was just being cautious, understanding. I'm just giving him a bit of benefit of the doubt. And like I said, I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm not saying she's thirsty for it either. She's just attracted to him. He's attracted to her. But in that particular moment, I don't think intimacy was the answer. Sex was the answer, I should say.
I agree with you. I think the thing that what I see also was that moment wasn't the opportune moment for them to have sex when she demanded it. But that tells me that she's been open to have sex off camera. And now she's saying, okay, so when are we going to do it? So she's now vocalized what she's feeling. So that leads me to say when they laid up in that bed, cuddling and up close, she made a move or two. Her hand went to a couple of places when there was no cameras around and nobody was watching, and he put a stop to it. So of course not in that moment, right? He's going to just jump her bones like, oh, we gonna have sex tonight, Mom? Like, no. But that tells me that she wanted things to go further and he gave it the shutdown, So look, and again, it's not a right or wrong for me in this instance. I just want to leave room for there to be another possible avenue that this is going. But I don't think anything is wrong. So trust me, don't put words in my mouth or don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I don't want to say like, oh, they need to have sex tomorrow. They need to be having sex. I'm picking up on the behaviors and what the words are that are being said that are leading me to a possible outcome. Again, I'm not projecting where they should be or where they need to be. I'm looking at it. We're going to talk about old boy and Kirsten, and we're going to talk about her behaviors and how that looks optically, right? So this is the same thing here. Optically, it looked like he might not want Nicole. It looked like it might be that way. Now, it could be different, sure.
It looking like indeedy. Oh no, you want to say something before we go to the next one?
I agree pretty much with everything JR said. It's been less than 48 hours. It's really hard to say if there's a sexual connection at this particular point, but I like Chris. I hate the fact we're putting the nice tag on him. I think he's reading the room, but giving Nicole everything that she needs. Going back what Chris has to say, I think Nicole has way too much energy. And now you're hearing about the trauma. You're hearing about this domestic violence. I'm putting my doctor's hat on. I'm like, maybe she has, I don't know if she's actually had a healthy relationship up until now. And this is the first guy that's actually saying nice things or actually giving her worse infection. And she's actually hearing it and processing it. And that's like, to me, that's like the scary thing that's kind of triggering. So even if she's vocal about I want to have sex today, doesn't mean you need to act upon it. To act upon that would be immature. The fact that he's not doing that, and day 2, I'm like, he's doing. I hate the word nice. He's doing the right thing. He's doing the right things. If he was to be in his flesh and be aggressive and do what his biology has to say, this can go left a little. This can go left really quickly. I hope that he continues to listen, be the safe space to see what it has to say, and let's actually listen and gives Nicole what she will need. My problem with this relationship is Nicole the right person for Chris? Because I just feel like Nicole's going to break this guy's back in half the minute they drop those draws in the next couple weeks. And I just don't know if we're going to know what the real Chris is at that particular point. That's the issue I have.
She gonna bitch press that boy. She gonna bitch press him. Watch. She gonna put them vice grips on him.
And the issue is, it's not. Hopefully, Chris decides that when the day happens versus like Nicole saying it's going to be right now, but we'll into the future. My main issue is with which relationship is Nicole's father with his grilling. I mean, we haven't talked about that. I'm just like, you maybe don't aware of what's happening with your daughter and all these other things, but just like the fact that you're kind of worried about this guy's a serial killer, if he's a nice guy, whatever, it's a little bit too much. Like, I haven't seen anything of Chris has said up to this point where he's giving this guy the nth degree.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Something just hit me. We've spent a lot of time talking about the abuse that she's probably seen in previous relationships. And Dr. O, you just said something. She probably has not had, this is probably her first healthy relationship or relationship with a good guy. I wonder if her father has seen her go through the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? And now you walk down the aisle and man you've never met before. So, I mean, last week I just thought the guy was annoying and just trying to be a stand-up comedian. But now I'm like, this is a lot of grilling. And you're like, oh, serial killers are nice too. So that guy that burned her, I wonder if he thought, this is a great guy. This guy's going to love my daughter. And then turns out to be an abusive guy. That's just, because a wolf in sheep's clothing. I wonder if her father, maybe there's some guilt there. So maybe I'm projecting. I don't know.
Well, I mean, to me, something's not adding up well, over in that relationship right now. Hopefully, over time, things kind of ease out. My whole thing is, especially for the show, like I don't think you should sleep with anybody until after you meet the parents and the family. So hey, Chris, you did the right job here. Like hey, you have one supporter right here. Let's see what happens. It's not the end of the world. He's told her she likes her. You see the affection. Let things build. It'll eventually get there. Let's just pump the brakes until he says something or does something stupid.
I hear that. I mean, apart from obviously Chris is, I mean, apart from obviously Nicole, Chris also too, just give it a bit of balance. Chris also too came from a relationship where the person didn't care about him either. The girl didn't like him. He said the girl didn't talk to him. He went on holiday and the girl didn't even want to touch him. So, it's a tough life out here. You know what I mean? It's a tough life out here. So, that can make a brother, a little bit cautious about where you're coming from. So maybe that's also on his mind. Maybe that's a little bit on his mind as to why, he's taking it so slowly with the sex issue. You know what I mean? Old girl did not want to touch him, see him, smell him, taste him. My girl said, listen, he said that she was telling him bad things. I'm going to just be real with you. Yeah. Chris is way too nice. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Are you Jesus the Lamb? Like, what are you coming here to sacrifice yourself for the rest of mankind? I need you to get some balls, because that niceness that he's got, you ain't gonna last long in this life. You know what I mean? Like, you need to have some better boundaries, know how to stand tall and let people know this is what I'm about. Because all that niceness, for me, again, like I always say, nice guys are just as dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that he go and turn and flip, but I'm saying he could turn and flip. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's too much niceness after a while. It's like you've put so much sugar in this, it's overdoing it. Okay, overdoing it. Yeah, and I know ladies might be saying, no, none of y'all would date Chris. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? It's absolute bollocks. You wouldn't date him. Sorry, my French again. None of you would date Chris. This is like the whole conversation with Jake from whatever his name is from back in the day with Haley and that. Most of you are not going to date this type of guy. There's too much sugar in the cereal.
Well, I had to come back on there. I don't think that's true.
Oh my god. Oh, my gosh.
I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm doing Whole30. My energy is low. My blood sugar is low. I ain't even got the energy to debate this.
Grab a Snickers.
Because my blood sugar is freaking low. But
Come on, doctor.
I said grab.
Ono told you to eat a Snickers. I said, come on, doctor. She can't do that.
With Whole30. But no, I do believe that a lot of women in the comments would date him. Coach, I really don't agree with that.
Oh my days.
I don't think he's too nice. Just his last 2 episodes really has. I don't think he's too nice. I don't think he's too nice.
He seems like a regular guy.
He seems like a regular guy, especially right now. Like we'll see later on, but right now I just don't think he's too nice. I think he's really trying to, pull it together. I mean, this is an unconventional way of meeting. I just don't think he's too nice.
Pete Carter said he's handsome, tall, and sweet. I date him. Yeah, why wouldn't you date him? What's wrong with him?
Wait. To Kojo's point, he's borderline. He's borderline.
Borderline what?
He has been through, to his own point, he has been through some relationships that you could tell it may have soured him a little bit. That's why I said if you push him too much, you're going to see a different side of him. He's been through some bad relationships.
That's not why Kojo's saying we wouldn't date him. Kojo's saying we wouldn't date him because he's soft.
Right.
Yeah, that too.
The ex.
There's nothing wrong with it. He is a little soft. A little bit. But it's okay. That's okay. She's strong. So it don't matter. It balances out.
Who knows why that ex talked him on that trip? Men love to tell these one-sided sob stories.
Right.
They talking to the next girl, talking about, oh, my ex didn't appreciate me. My ex didn't love me. My ex
I think, was that a free vacation?
We don't know why.
We're going to chalk this up to your Whole30 eating away your heart because ain't no way.
Women do that too. I'm like, yeah, he was so bad. Like, come on. Everyone does that. You're gonna find that with everyone. Everyone's gonna have a
You're right, Trey. But when anybody gets on here telling me a one-sided story that don't make no sense, talking about y'all went on vacation, she didn't talk to you. Why she didn't talk to you, sir?
She didn't talk to you.
She was using him.
She didn't want to.
He gave her a free vacation. She used.
That was it. I said
free vacation. Who, especially in 2023, what woman turning that down? Oh, free trip. Oh. Yeah, they're going. Most of them, the dumb ones, the dumb ones now, but they're going, and it's crazy.
That means he was.
Yes, Coach Joe, we get started. Let's do this.
Oh, so it's his fault that the woman treated him poorly. So he had this is where the double standard comes. Let me finish. This is the double standard, right? Because it's an elite level double standard when a man comes on, and because y'all had your violins out for Chris is such a great guy and he's just intentional and he's so this, but now he's a liar and the woman that he was talking about that hurt him is he's not telling the full story. So there's a room for him to be a liar and be misleading.
Have you heard of contributory negligence, Sean?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Contributory negligence. Please take the legal terms and go.
I'm just asking.
Go get a Nutrigrain bar with that.
Have you heard of that?
Because we just got not what we just got tonight. Okay.
I'm just asking. Have you heard of that? Because in those cases when both people are set on stupid, you both have to pay the piper. When both people are being reckless. You bringing somebody on a trip that don't like you, and you going on a trip with somebody you don't like. Point is that it's not a double standard. This is a one-sided story, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I agree with you, C-Way. I agree with you, C-Way.
But
that's why you won't date him. Thank you.
But the thing is, Nicole
Kojo, but not because he's soft. That's all. That's my only point. I don't think he's.
That nigga's soft. He's soft.
I don't think he
look how quick the pendulum.
You just told me negligence.
Swung. That's all I want to call out. Is that pendulum swung so quickly when it came to us saying that there's some women that could have hurt him. Now the pendulum has swung in the opposite direction, right? All that leeway he got, is out the window.
I believe she heard him.
Which leads me to believe
and the thing is,
y'all can say one thing You can say one thing, like anybody that said like, oh, I would date him. You can say that, but what happens when the rubber meets the road and you're in a room together with him? Does that manifest itself into a real connection? I think it manifests itself into a first date and a goodbye. Okay? That's what I think.
What are we even arguing?
Yeah, but the thing that we're forgetting here, yeah, the thing that we're forgetting is Nicole's story was also one-sided. She didn't say anything that she did it during that relationship, and no one said anything about that. We listened to her say what the guy did to her, and then we said, you know what, he's consoling her, he's understanding, and this, that, the other. If Chris has been used or suffered in his relationship, and he only tells his standpoint, like, we don't know what he did, because like we're just presuming, right? But we're not presuming in the same way when she told her story, and her story is the one that's more poignant. Okay, he was in a relationship where the girl wasn't feeling him. That's not necessarily that traumatic, because you can get out there and find girls that might actually find him attractive. But with what she went through, it was quite harrowing, right? Like, she was trying to be in love with this guy, and this guy said, you're not worthy of love. Like, I heard her say she was told she's not worthy of love like at least 5 times, but she still stayed with the brother. She still stayed there. And then he said something stupid like, "Rah, let me burn this cigarette into your hand, and then you'll be worthy of love." And she did it. So where are we holding her accountable for being gullible or stupid?
We did, JR, though. I love the point you're making, but we actually did. Me and everyone in the comments said that the reason why she was even in that situation, and even the reason why she's interacting with Chris the way she is now, is because of a self-esteem issue. And I would even like to say that I'm thinking her dad may have something to do with it, because I don't know what type of dad, what woman has a strong dad in their life that somehow finds their way to a situation where you are that needy of someone telling you that you are loved and you deserve love, to the point where you allow yourself to be burned. We did call her out. But I'm confused, though, even what we're debating, because Kojo is saying that he's soft. I'm saying he ain't that soft. And on a separate note, I'm saying there's something to him in this vacation situation. That's a whole separate conversation. But I don't believe that he's that soft to the point where women wouldn't date him.
But that's tied to his softness. That's what Coach is trying to get at.
We don't think he's lying. I just think that there's something more to that, whether there was a miscommunication or something. You just went on a date or a vacation with this girl and she ignored you completely.
I think the point of
Look,
that
we're gonna see the same situation play out with Shaq and Kirsten. They're gonna go on holiday to Jamaica, and she's not feeling him. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna see what happens.
First. You gotta go to the conference.
Oh yeah, sorry. And you saw how she was in the room when in the hotel. She was in the camera. Oh yeah, everybody's in Jamaica, and I'm stuck here with Shaq.
Yeah,
moaning. So when they go to Jamaica, remember, like, she seemed to have her heart set on going to Jamaica with all the rest of them.
With the girl.
She does, Kirsten. Like, she doesn't want to kiss Shaq, you know. Like, she's not talking about that. She rejected Shaq and all of that. But when she gets to Jamaica and the sun's out and all them things there, she could be walking around bikini and all those type of things. Sunshine, drinks, the other couples there. You know, like, if she rejects him then, like, man, then we can start looking at Shaq and saying, okay, Shaq's soft. Because he's been rejected 4 or 5 times by this lady. And right? So we're going to see this whole...
on them, I want to just kind of circle back a little to what was just said, because I'm seeing in the comments, and this is just such a great point, is there are a good percentage of women that are saying they would not date him, right? And then there's also some women saying they wouldn't date him either, but they don't like when men tell women what they want. So ultimately, whatever it is, there's a good population of women that's saying they wouldn't date Chris. So let me finish. Whether the issue is that he's too soft or whatever wordage that we're using or verbiage that we're using that the ladies might not like, there's still the end point is that they would not date him. And I think that's what we are trying to call out, is there is something about Chris that doesn't give him preference and option with women.
Sean, there was 2 people in these comments saying they wouldn't date him. Everybody else said
there was not 2, so don't minimize it. There was not 2, Seaway.
It was 2 people.
There was 4 that I saw.
I saw the same 2 people repeating that they wouldn't date him a few times. I know they about to pop back up, so I'm just waiting for it. It was 2 people. Everybody else said that they would.
So there's only 10 people commenting actively. So I mean, listen, let's not talk percentages, but there was the same people are saying that, listen, they don't like to be told, by a man what women do.
Someone says take a poll, so I'll take a poll for it. I mean, I said what I said because I was saying about the fact that not necessarily like he's a bad catch or anything, but it's the softness in terms of if you let him walk, would you be able to walk all over him, right? So that's what I was kind of saying, because his story was about the girl was with him the whole entire time, and and she didn't say nothing, she didn't talk to you, she didn't like you, and da. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, so I was just being real and just saying that, hey, let's be honest. A lot of people, if they met him, wouldn't want to date him. I just thought that was real. Like, I don't, and I know, and this is the thing that makes it so interesting, because I think when we have these conversations, right, the reality is women will tell you one thing and do the absolute opposite. They'll tell you, we will date him. You might date him. The dating part is not the issue. You won't stay. When you realize you can walk all over him. You know what I mean? So I'm saying to you that he may not, he for right now, from what I can see, from right now. So let me put that caveat. For right now, he's not given, I can assert myself. You know what I mean? He's not given, I can assert myself. So I'm going to give the poll. Okay, I'm going to give the poll. I'm going to put the poll up there for you guys. Who would date Chris? Would you date Chris? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And in fact, let me not even say dating. I think people might try it out, but I'm saying, like, would you stay with somebody who you felt like you had a bit more sort of energy then? Do you know what I mean? It does feel a bit like that. But anyway, let me put that comment in there. And let's move it on to the next couple, and then I'll put the poll up there, but let's move to the next couple. It was a good conversation. I love that. I love the vibrancy there, and the what you give me. Ginger. Content. We love to see it. Content. Oh, I love it. All right, next couple. Next couple. Next couple. We're going
twice.
Oh, you don't know how beautiful it was to watch from my end. Absolutely beautiful. At one point, Seaway said, killing me. But let me next couple. Next couple. Let's talk about Shaq and Kirsten then. The kiss that didn't happen. And we said this last week. I think we all pretty much agree with Kirsten and Shaq's situation. I think we're all gonna probably have the same effects. We the after party kind of confirmed it. We already knew that she wasn't gonna kiss him, because Keisha asked her the question, if he had asked, would you have kissed him, and she said, oh, and then went to shirk on and say, yeah, I would have. But the reality is she wasn't gonna kiss him, and then I'm surprised she actually. So wait, I'm confused, because that, I don't know if you guys saw on Married at First Time fans page, whatever. There was a spoiler talking about the friend. The friend came out on Facebook saying about how they've actually kissed or whatever. But baby girl, no editing can change what your girl just did here. So whether they kiss later on or not is not the issue. No amount of editing is going to edit the part that your girl got asked, give me can I have a kiss, and then her to actually say, you're gonna have to wait. Okay, no amount of editing can edit that part out, baby. So that friend, I need you to shh, because you're making it look worse. I get the fact she might have kissed him later on, maybe kissed him behind the scenes, but that immediate moment, some things just don't need to be defended. You just need to just shh and just leave it and let it settle. You know what I mean? But who wants to go first? Who wants to tackle this particular inroad? And I'll put the poll up for the rest of the guys. Go for it, Seaway.
All I'll say is that, like Shantae said in the comments, I'm not mad at Kristen for refusing to kiss Shaq. Neither am I. I don't think neither is anyone. I think our problem is the gaslighting. And that is always my problem with these shows. She ain't feeling Shaq, to be honest. If you put up this poll, I think most of us wouldn't be feeling him either. Not based on his physical appearance, but based on other vibes. I would not be mad if she did not want to kiss him. The problem is that don't be saying, oh, if he would have asked, then I would have kissed him. That's a gaslight. That's being ridiculous. So I think that's the part that's really frustrating. And she also was acting like a person who ain't never been nowhere about this honeymoon. Like, I know it's annoying, his like school situation, that wasn't ideal, but her response, again, I know it was annoying. It was very annoying. It was not ideal. But I'm not sure that I would want to be in Jamaica so bad that I just want to go by myself. I mean, it ain't like you missing a day in Greece. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed her response of being like so eager to be there, even at, even being by herself, was also a sign that she just really ain't feeling him, because that's just not nobody who's feeling him at all. She seemed like she was really, really pissed. Now, mind you, though, he talked about he wants her to see his presentation, but why was she caught up? Why was she cooped up in the hotel all day? I don't know if anybody caught that, but
she don't want to see it.
Right. And she don't want to see him. She don't want to be around him. Ruin his day.
She don't like him. She don't like him.
She don't like him. She don't
want to do anything with a person you don't like. You're gonna look for every other reason to not be there.
And the thing is, he's going for a PhD as well. He's going for a PhD, something important, right? And she still kind of don't want to be there. She's not feeling him, and I just hope she does the right thing. Yeah, but that's the thing. I hope she does the right thing and just, lets him down gently, because she's not going to be swayed by what... Listen, she's not interested in what he's got going on personally. She's not feeling him physically, like, the 3 strikes or whatever she said. No kissing, no intimacy. It's better to get away now. Like, I know she wants to go to Jamaica by what she said. What are they going to do in Jamaica? It's not going to bring them any closer. She's just going to get a holiday. And he's going to be probably mystified why everything he's tried up to that point hasn't resulted in at least a little peck or anything like that. So I don't think it can be forced. Like, don't force it. Just lay him down gently. She's not feeling him, so it's not going to work.
This girl annoyed the hell out of me. And just like Z-Way said, I'm not mad at you if you don't want to kiss him, but stop saying to all your friends, oh, I just want my man to ask for the kiss. I just thought it would be so respectful if he asked for the kiss. And then as soon as he asked for the kiss, and nice and gentle, you're sitting on his lap, for God's sakes, and you're still, no, you don't want to kiss him. You're not attracted to him. And then I want to go to the going to the hotel room. I think it was in Jacksonville in Mississippi. It was one day. Pout about it a little tiny bit, complain about it. But then I was like, that's, to me, be supportive. Your man's getting his PhD. And he even said, I want you to see what I do. I want you to see what I'm going for. I want, and I was like, was there some reason why she couldn't go to the presentation? But let's say you just didn't want to, you wanted to sit up in the hotel room. You're in a hotel. Go to Jacksonville. Go get something to eat. Go get some soul food, something. Don't just dispute. But it was an opportunity for her to sit up in that hotel and pout. And she did not have to do that. She could have went down and saw the presentation. If she couldn't, for whatever reason, you could have still gotten out of that hotel room. I'm stuck in this hotel. Oh, just stop the dramatics. The conversation with her that Shaq had with, I don't know if that was her sister or her cousin. The girl was like, I'm just not believing you. Like, I just don't see that you're going to be the right person for Kristen. And that and this girl was just like grilling him. And I was like, girl. And then one of the other friends was saying, Are you going to be okay if she is more reserved? Are you going to still be there for her? I was like, this girl don't want this man. Why are y'all? You're just making excuses. So there were just so many little things that were blaring to them are little red flags, but they were just blaring to all of us. I was like, it's just one day, Kristen. Go and support your man, and then go to Jamaica with everybody else. And she couldn't do that. So that's it for now. I might remember something else, but that's it.
I would add, just to play devil's advocate a little on this one, that he didn't position it the right way with Kirsten. You know, I think that he didn't position the trip. He should have asked, especially not knowing her, and also feeling the vibe on how their chemistry was, right? And I think there's a way to do an assumptive ask, you know, in sales, and I do a lot of sales training. Like there's a way to ask assumptively, right? But he didn't do that. He said, "This is where we're going. We're gonna miss," and he just. You need to have realtor in. And one thing I picked up on Kirsten is like she's a Southern Belle kind of personality. So she's gonna hit you with the nice nasty. So she's never gonna come out like heavy hitting guns blazing. You're gonna know, but it's under the surface, right? So I think he should have picked up on that and just kind of said, "Hey, babe, listen, you know, this is something that I planned prior to knowing that we would have our honeymoon. I really would love for this to be something we could experience together. We'll miss a day, but we'll, you know, I'll make it fun. You know, we'll do some nice things when we get to Mississippi, blah, 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 and make the best of it. You know, I planned a nice, you know, trip for us. How does that sound to you? How do you feel?" Right? He should have sold it to her. He didn't sell it to her. And in the way he sold it, I was actually surprised. It was the same way where he broke out with that Jodeci dance move trying to grind on her at the wedding. It was incongruent with his personality. So don't buck up and talk like, you know, this is what we're going to do. Just be easy, bro. I think he could have sold it to her better. And she could have been a little nicer too. She definitely could have been nicer about it. But I think all roads lead to she don't want him, you know, and we see that. We saw how all the ladies came to bed. Some came, you know, in lingerie. Some came in nice little shorts. She came with a whole robe tied up, and she woke up, went to bed with the robe tied, and she woke up with the robe tied. To me, that's all I need to see. I would actually prefer you come to bed in sweats and a hoodie than disrespect me and come to bed with a robe that's tied up tighter than Fort Knox. So yeah, that's what I feel about those two.
Who's next? Go on you.
The only thing Shaquille did was assume that she wanted to come with him to Jackson, Mississippi. I agree with Sean. He could have phrased it a little bit better. But regardless, if you are actually like the person, you're into the person, wouldn't you, my devil's advocate, wouldn't you want to go to see to see him present and see what he does? And you're acting like she was going to miss the entire vacation or even half the vacation. I was thinking they're maybe going to miss half the vacation. They're going to miss a day and a half, maybe a day and a half. So it wasn't too much of an ask just to say, "Hey, you know what? We just got married. This is important. Let me just take this time out to see what you want to do." Like I've been to medical conferences where people present. Spouses come, they're outside the fields, just there to support. It's a welcoming thing. You don't have, I mean, you can walk around the convention center, you can stay in a hotel, but I mean, the fact that the ones that actually make that make it to the conference, just to sit in the back row, to give that person that boost in order to get to that presentation, those are the ones that kind of, you're like, okay, this relationship's the kind of matter. Like that part of it is just not clicking with me with Kristen. That's like, we've just been dealing with Cap for the past 2 days. And the goalpost just keeps moving and moving and moving. First, at the wedding, when the pastor says, you can kiss your bride, you give him the cheek. Then after the wedding, you're telling everyone, you know what, I'm not attractive. He's gonna have to ask to earn it. Then he's asking her, and you're still saying no. It's like it's only been 2 days, and like it's been a different excuse every single time. I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, if attraction matters, and if that's going to be the number one thing that most women that's going to hit on when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marriage, and after 48 hours, you can't tell us a good quality about this person or show us a good quality about this person, what are we doing? And to cap it off, it's just like, I think when Crystal talked about, when Shaquille was talking with her girlfriends, you can tell like they know that Crystal doesn't like her based on the questioning. And like the one on the left, I think was a little bit more aggressive, was like, what you gonna do? Like, you have to prove yourself, like you're gonna have to prove yourself to us to make sure you're a good fit for Chris. And I'm like, hold on, like this is who is he married to at this point? You are the crew. At least the person in the center is kind of reasonable, giving him like, you know what, hey, you know what, if you want Kristen to come to you, you're gonna have to give her time to warm up, etc. And even though all three of them are bad, at least that's the one I'm like, you know what, at least it's the worst of the three. The one I guess the one that's towards the end to the right, you know, I would say warming up. But again, their attitude about just men and just relationships and what they're looking for their friend or friend / sister, I just don't know what's going on here. The goalpost is moving. At least Shaquille has been showing his intentions of why he got to the process. He hasn't deviated. And like, this is just too much. And I agree with like Sean with the robe and things like that. She's given us the verbal clues that she does not attracted to him. It's to the point that you can't even kiss this guy or show any signs of affection. The guy is yet to make you feel unsafe or make you feel like it's a place where you can't trust him per se. The only thing you can say is like he took a 1 day away from vacation. The only thing that she's been most interested in besides the wedding is his honeymoon. And the fact she's losing 1 day is the end of the world. And to cap it all off with the hotel room scene, even if you were mad at him, there's no reason you need to tape that for us. You can hold that on the inside. And she's already telling him he's gonna have to make this up to him before they leave the I guess it's not honeymoon suite or the hotel room. She could have stayed in Nashville for additional day, got her hair done. She could have like, you know what, I can meet you in Jacksonville, meet you in Mississippi, or you come back to Mississippi. There's so many ways she could have went about this. I wish Shaquille would give her an option, but at the same time, she's moving the goalpost so much. We gotta stop the cap on this. Like, this isn't right.
Who's next? Who hasn't spoken about it yet?
Guess I go.
Go.
You know, it was funny. I hate to bring this up from the other night, but it was so funny. I almost turned into Shining Culture for a second. I was like, when she took that makeup off, I was like, oh, this girl is fine. Jesus Christ. She is bad. But I had to catch myself. Like,
say it again, sir. Say it again.
Like,
no. Don't
it
skip
was when
past
she
that
took
train.
it off. It
Don't
happened
skip
when she
past
took it
that
off. I
train.
went, oh,
Welcome, Trey. Trey, welcome.
Woo.
Thank you.
I had to admit, I was
Welcome.
like, you know what? She bad.
We
She
welcome
is.
you back to the fold.
No,
good brother.
wait. I just need you to focus on that point again. When she took off the makeup, then you realize how bad she really is. Because the truth of the matter is, you are not. Let me not go there because
I was like, why?
They're gonna get a moment.
Why? You ain't had to do all this to be why.
One fight for the night, Kojo. One fight for the night.
Oh, you know, yeah, but that's a fight we ain't gonna win. You know, we gotta pick our battles. We ain't down on that hill tonight. You know, but fine she is, her attitude is stink, because here's the problem. And I mean this when I say this, okay? She gives off an air that she's better than him. She gives off the air that she's better than a lot of people around her. You know, that's a problem. She literally thinks she's better than other people. That's a problem. She The way she looks at him sometimes, she's like, why did experts do me like this? I didn't deserve to this. Don't they know who I am? That's the kind of attitude that I sense from her, you know. And usually bad chicks think like that. It happens, you know. Shaq, he's not helping himself. He's not helping himself in this situation. You know, he's trying to play it cool, but he's beginning to see, like, all right, she's not for me. I think we mentioned this last week. I would not be surprised if he ended up with the cousin that what owner was saying, the girl on the end, because she likes him the most. Like, he's gonna be in that family one way or the other. So which one's gonna be? And it almost seemed like, you know, her sisters and friends know that she's not feeling him. I think Crystal Point, they know she's not feeling him. Yet they're trying to keep up this song and dance. Kind of like, okay, you know what you're gonna do, may have a chance, but if you don't, options over here. It's weird. It seems like they're trying to set him up for the okie doke. Like, you ain't gonna get with her, but you can choose one of us. That's why I'm sensing. It's a little weird. But Kirsten, we gotta get her name correct. Kirsten, Miss Batty herself. Like, listen, the attitude stink, man, and it's gonna get stinker. And she's trying to come off like she's very self-conscious. She doesn't want to look bad. She does not want to look bad. So you can tell that she's trying to be very careful with her wording and what she says to him, especially on camera. But when he mentioned that, yeah, we ain't going to Jamaica right away. Oh, you saw the real her. You saw a peek of the realness peek out for a second. Huh? What? Man. What you talking about? Yeah, the real Kirsten almost showed her tail. And she had to reel it back in. You saw her face. She went, oh, okay. Like, she had to reel herself back in. Yeah, things might get interesting in these next couple of weeks, because she seems like a person. If it gets to a certain point, she ain't gonna hold it in. She gonna say something, and it ain't gonna be nice. I don't know if I'm gonna say poor Shaq, because how much of this are you gonna take, brother? Like, read the tea leaves. This ain't hard to see. I know you're trying to give it a chance, and I can understand why, because she is bad. Lord have mercy.
He needs to ride that wave a little bit longer. I'm telling you that now.
That's not the game. Coach Joe,
you might get one hit. You need to just try it. You might get one hit.
No, sir. He was sitting on his. She couldn't be sitting on my lap. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
She could not be sitting on my lap.
Playing games.
I'd be like cameras. I need the cameras out.
My hand would have been on her butt right here. Boom. Yeah, girl.
I need the cameras out the room
right here. Because she's playing games. Don't sit on me, then turn me down.
That back, something. Okay, so you don't want to kiss. So listen, what do you need? Tell me what you need, because I got the.
Listen, what she needs to do is get off that boy's lap, because she don't want to kiss him. Right, the only kiss you're gonna give him is when she kisses him goodbye, metaphorically. That's all. That's the only kiss you're gonna get.
You're gonna get a stupid prize.
It was
exactly. Listen, not only has he been rejected from all the attempts of the kisses, right? He got rejected at the table when everybody was clinking their glasses. He got rejected, right?
Yeah.
She told her friends prior that if he was bald and X, Y, and Z and da, she's not gonna be feeling him. Right? She went on the after show, the after party, and said if he's not good in the bedroom, blah 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 blah, she's not gonna be feeling him. And now he's being hazed by her girlfriends and her family like that. They're hazing him. They already know that she's not feeling him. She told them verbatim, like specifically, she said she's not feeling the brother. So all the talk that they're giving about, so what if she isn't feeling you, and what if you already know that she's not. Alright, like I said, my whole thing is I haven't seen him do anything egregious, and I'm not saying he has to, but I'm saying I haven't seen him do anything real crazy. He shouldn't have grabbed her butt or did anything like that. listen, you have to take the cues. She's not giving out no cues for him to make any progress. She's shutting him down, rejecting him. And I agree with Trey. And like I said earlier, it's only a matter of time before he realizes. I hope the penny drops before he gets too invested, because he's already been saying every single episode, this is the girl that I've been waiting for. This is how I envision my marriage. This is how. So he has this idea of trying to make it work. Right? He gave her grace at first. He said, look, we've just met each other, so if she doesn't want to kiss me, that's fine. We can work on it later. Now she's done it a few more times. And like I said, unless he's hoping that the sunshine and rum in Jamaica, the beach and the sea, is going to somehow change her perception of him, it's not going to happen. She's just going to go out there for the holiday, couple pictures, go, but it's not going to bring them any closer in terms of intimacy or anything. If she does kiss him, she might give him a peck on the forehead for saying, well done for passing your presentation. But that's about it. So this couple, I don't see them making it at all. No way. It's still early, but the way that the amount of times that she's rejected him in such a short space of time leads me to think that this ain't going nowhere.
Definitely hear you on that, JR. Definitely hear you on that. Definitely think as well, like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, he needs to get his licking. He needs to get his licking quick. Listen, because it's not looking good. It's going downhill. Sir, get your lick in, okay? I don't know what you have to do, but play the role. Whatever you got to do, rub her feet, rub her back. I mean, play puppy dog, whatever you got to do, but get your lick in. Because once you get your lick in, brother, whatever happens after that, you wipe your hands clean of her. So I don't give a damn. I got my licking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how the game goes, bro. You cannot get played like this and look like a fool on national TV. As for me, you ain't gonna play me. At that point, I'm gonna be like, ooh, I need to play my role properly and then try and get my little lick in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because fam, I can't. You know what? I'm from around the way. I'm gonna leave here with something. Okay? I'm gonna leave here with something. Okay. I'm gonna go for it.
I'm gonna leave here with something.
That's it.
Like in the post views with them at the dinner, I was just thinking about this could be like a repeat of season 14 with Michael and Jasmina, with the whole talking at me versus the talking at I forget how she phrased it, like not listening to me but talking at me. She's setting the parameters for her to see, like, you know what, I don't see this thing is going to work. And that's the main issue right now. She said it from day one. I know it's the second day, but if we're going to continue on like this and we're going to see this one carry into the first week, at some point just hit the eject button and let's just end it here.
I can definitely see that happening. Like, that's going to be her way out. Like, he's going to probably say something in a tone that she doesn't like, and that's going to be the catalyst for her to say, yeah, I'm not feeling you. It's over. I didn't like the way you spoke to me. There's no recovery. Perfect way out, right?
You saw that in the did y'all see that in the previews when she told him that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, listen, I'm like, you got two choices. Either finish this completely, or you got to play your game and get your lick in. Whichever one you feel like works for you best, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Because if old girl's sitting on my lap, and like Sean said, I'm not about to play that game with you. So at that point, when you start sitting on my lap, I'm going to ask you a question. Listen, if you don't see anything happening between me and you, I need you to stop sitting on my lap, because that's not working. I'm not about to play that game with you, right? I got boundaries. I don't mind, you know what, just pretending as if we're a couple, whatever, to make your image clean. That's up to you. But as for me, you ain't about to sit on my lap, put your arm around me and be telling me all sweet nothings when really and truly you got nothing for me. You understand? I'm flying away. I'm leaving it with something. Ludwin, go on. I know you've been waiting. Tell us your thoughts.
Hey, I miss y'all. Okay, so I actually like Kristen, which is weird enough. She looks exactly like an older version of my sister-in-law, which is the weirdest thing. But
sorry, wait. Your sister-in-law?
Yes.
Is she still your sister-in-law? Just wondering. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Carry on.
No, sorry. Cousin-in-law. Well, she married my cousin, so yeah. She looks like a younger version of her because she's 22 and this one's 32. So, anyway, so she reminds me. I think this was like season 11 of that girl that was celibate for like 10 years. And then she married this African man. He had his, big old head, dark skinned man. And she put him through the ringer. And then she finally caved in. And now they have a kid and everything. That could be the case that she might drag it out the whole season like she did in that season just to make him prove himself. Because, I think Trey was trying to say, oh, she gives the energy that she's better than everybody that she's around. However, I think she is having a hard time dealing with the fact that he's also accomplished. So she can't really try to compete because they both kind of on the same level based off education and income. So now she's like, okay, so where else can I find a way that he would succumb to me? Because she knows that she's pretty. But then again, it's not like she's a size 2, so I don't know why she's acting like that either. Because she was like, I need him to be a certain way. I need him to look a certain way. And granted, I can understand how you don't like bald head, but the man is not ugly. Like, the man is not given that he was, like a 4. The man is a very handsome black man. And I really don't see the issue with her not liking him. If I'm sure he can grow his hair and have a low cut. I don't think it would be an issue for him to not remain bald unless like he's like Sean and, he's completely bald, but but that's my theory with them, is that like she's gonna drag it out until she feels like she's ready. Okay, I feel like he's went through enough tests, so now I'm ready to give him the cookie. Also, I saw some people were saying that he could give some foot rubs. Yes, he could be more romantic. That could spice up the relationship moving forward throughout the season. That could help bring in the little sauce. Then again, we can also have that same issue from the same season 11 with the what was her name? The Virgin, where she was so awkward the whole time and she never gave him anything the whole entire season. So it could go either way for me, where she act like that one virgin who never give Keith anything the whole season, or like the celibate girl who Kate, gave in and now they have a beautiful family and the kids and everything.
Fair, that's fair, balanced. I appreciate it, Ludwig. Yeah, Iris was the girl that you were discussing there. Yes, who wants? See, I haven't heard. I don't think I've heard from you, but have I? Oh, did I miss your rendition?
Yeah, you did. You heard from me.
Oh, okay. Anyone else? Anyone else have heard from? Anyone else haven't heard from? Or anyone else got another point to drop in this situation between Kirsten and Shaq?
He ain't even gonna touch the booty.
Trey, I'm done with you, okay? But you know what?
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
An elite meme, boy. I can't wait to start dropping that. I cannot wait to start dropping that.
Wait, I missed it. I'm sorry. I was reading the comments.
Ludwig, if you missed it, you missed it, mate. You missed it.
That's right. You gotta be in it to win it, boo.
You gotta be. That's it, bro.
Yeah.
You can't be missing that.
Do it for the culture.
Look, Lou, when my
You
blood
can't
sugar
miss
is,
that.
is dropping, I'm trying to get to the last couple. I ain't gonna make it. I told y'all that.
You gonna make it, C-Way. You gonna make it, C-Way.
I'm
We gonna
not
go to
gonna
them.
make it. I need to go
You
to
gonna
sleep.
make it, C-Way.
Listen.
I'm gonna go to the next couple now for you, and you can be the first one to talk. Okay.
My
gonna make
favorite Denzel quote, though, real quick, is "King Kong ain't got ish on me." You know, that's all I'm saying.
C-Way,
collect.
you know what to do.
You put his name as Harris, Kojo.
Yeah, I know. I did on purpose. C-Way, go for it, because you know I messed up everyone's name. Because I'm from around the way. That's why. C-Way, talk to me. Your thoughts on Airris and Jasmine?
I think Airris is a sex fiend.
Damn.
And he needs to figure out what's going on. That he's very inappropriate. He's been inappropriate now for 3 episodes. I'm trying to figure out why he continues to be so inappropriate. He did show a lot more interest and spunk this episode and energy towards his wife. He showed some type of something more than his typical blank affect, so that was great to see. But then later to find out on the after party that all that energy that he was showing towards her and she wasn't even his type, I found that to be a little disappointing, because I'm trying to figure out why he's so interested in her body and getting in the bed with her if she's not even his type. And at that time he was trying to work past it. I'm like, wow, men are kind of disappointing. That was just disappointing. It's not that I didn't know that men can be that way, but it was just a reminder that, yeah, I mean, that was just disappointing. That's the only thing that comes to my mind, because she's not nowhere near Lauren London looking wise. Like, they don't aesthetically look the same. So yeah, I thought that was weird. On top of the fact that even his male peers thought that he was doing too much. The only other thing is that his sister girlfriend is very, very, very ridiculous. She's a hater. She's a mean girl. And she's really mistreating his wife. And I think she's a really good person and didn't deserve that. And he did say on the after party that her opinion really doesn't make or break him. So I'm trying to figure out why he seemed to be kind of neutral towards her disrespect and her mean girl vibe. I mean, I also understand that he doesn't really know everything that she did, but you know, his wife did come and tell him like, hey, you know, this is what happened. And I don't know. She's just very, very disrespectful. But overall, Airris is lucky that he got matched with who he got matched with. I think she's a great person. But he needs to figure out why he's a sex fiend and why he's so inappropriate and why he doesn't seem to know time, place, or manner. That's my thing. Otherwise, though, they showed a little progress.
I'm pretty sure. C-Way.
All I would add is that please don't take all us men out, because Airris done messed up, you know. And I will say that after hearing some of the comments and then watching it back and also seeing some of the comments posted in the video about the, you know, make her get on her knees, and then watching this episode, I concede that it was crass to say that. So I've learned, and I appreciate y'all for enlightening me.
Sean, you knew it was crass then.
I really didn't see an issue with it. I thought it was kind of like low-key funny, sexy, you know, like a comment that I might make, but just in the context of the situation, I was able to reevaluate, and I get it.
Same here. Here.
And I don't want to be single forever, so, you know. You have to know when to hold them and when to fold them. So
we'll talk about that offline.
I got a little bit of Derek Jackson in me.
Oh wait, I left out one thing because they reminded me in the comments. I can already tell that Airris is gonna think that, what's his wife's name again?
Jasmine.
Jasmine is supposed to be catering to him. He looked like he think he supposed to sit down and she supposed to get up and be doing all this stuff, i.e. the grape situation. I'm already not liking the vibe that this relationship is going. I feel like she's going to be more into him than he's into her. Because why do you got her getting up getting you grapes? And then he talking about he want to go to sleep, he tired. Then when she come in with her little body yaddy yaddy with her little outfit, then he changed his mind. He just is.
I mean, the body yaddy was body yaddying.
You know what? You know what it is? Let me just keep it 100 and then I'm going to go.
Okay.
We haven't had a true Negro, a real Negro, because I don't want to hear them in the comments talk about, I'm so tired of y'all saying the N-word, child. We haven't had a real one up on Mafs before, and I think we finally got one. I think we got we got a real one. His whole demeanor is he doing it for the streets. He definitely, I'm not saying he's a street dude, but he's street adjacent. And I think just the way he moves is that. So I don't think that, a lot of the Mafs audience recognizes that and can relate with that. But I think that's also what's going on. And so Airris is a little different for the Mafs audience. So we'll see if he figures out that he's on TV or if he don't. But I hope he figures out that he's on TV and he's not at his auntie house and he act like he got some sense, because the way he be acting is really like he just don't have no sense. So I just need him to remember that he's on TV. Yeah.
I got to say, Seaway, that, look, Jasmine came to bed ready, or not to say she was ready for sex, but like that was the experience, right? Like you imagine it's your honeymoon, your first night together. That's what you want to see, right? She did have on the robe, but the robe was like a little, enough open where you saw the little, bustier or whatever that was up top. Elite. Chef's kiss to her for understanding the assignment, right? And from what they both said, they just cuddled. And meanwhile, I need Airris to stop the cat, because it just goes to show you how visual, us men can be, right? Because he was like, I don't want to do nothing. I just hope she don't want to blah, blah, blah. I just want to go to sleep. She came out that room, that bathroom, and he was like, oh, okay. All right. Now, hey now. So very, very interesting turn of events. I hope he treats her nicely, because it does seem like she is very accommodating. It seems like, she is giving, she's sweet, she has a kind nature. She's attracted to me. But again, I know it's all about the beholder. But I do hope he's nice to her. I hope he doesn't give her a hard way to go. In the previews, he's pushing the envelope, talking about what's your favorite sexual position. I think, again, bro, he seems to be somebody that's experienced. It's like you just like, don't do that, bro. Like, you're on camera, you're talking like that, just wrong. Just he went down the wrong road. So I'm hoping to see a little more maturity from him, especially, dude is 39, 40 at this point.
He's for the streets.
Period.
I can't deny this one. Oni, you want to say something? Go for it.
Lo took my words away. I want to like him. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, cool. You go for it, Joe.
Yeah, I think Airris is he's not going to play it right. I think he definitely is thinking with the wrong head, but it's human nature to a degree. Like, they are married, and the problem is, I agree with Seaway, he doesn't seem to be feeling her like that's someone that he would genuinely be attracted to, right? But I also have major concerns about this so-called cousin, right? This cousin that, like, she's gonna ruin it if he doesn't, because she just does not like Jasmine at all. Jasmine was in a situation where she was damned if she does and damned if she doesn't, because when the cousin said, like, asked her questions and she was answering, the cousin immediately shut it down by saying, listen, you're giving all these pageant answers, and, like, that's, you know, being a beauty queen, like, you're trained to answer these type of questions, so you're too composed. That's the vibe that she was giving, right? And if she had have fumbled on some of those questions, then she probably would have went in on her as well. She genuinely doesn't like her, and you can see that, right? I'm not sure if it's because she's scared to lose Airris as her, like, the time they spend together and all that stuff, or she's just territorial of him because they've grown up together and she doesn't want to see him go off with this particular lady. I'm not sure what it is, but I think the cousin is definitely going to be the downfall of this particular relationship. Or she might even just get into his head too much, because she's going to have influence over some of the way he thinks about his potential partner. Remember, like, in some cases, yeah, what you see is important enough for you to be in a relationship or a marriage or whatever, but you also, in this process, you have to take on board what your family members are saying about the person as well, which is why they had the sit downs with each other's families. So yeah, I think Airris is, man, he's gonna show his hand, and if the sexual positions question wasn't enough and he goes further than that, then I don't see this couple working.
Oh, I don't know what to say about Airris. You know what? Him and his cousin are definitely family, because they both do too much. Like, they literally both do too much. It seems like they've been doing too much together all their lives. Just too much. I don't know where to start. I'm sorry, Airris' cousin. Airris' cousin. Yes, JR was right. Jasmine was definitely in a situation where damn if you do, damn if you don't. Now, two things can be correct at the same time. I do understand the cousin's point about Jasmine's ability to answer questions, almost the right question at the right time, because I was thinking that way before the cousin even mentioned it. You know, the moment she said she was a pageant queen, and then you met the family and she's answering the questions, like, boy, she sounded real good, professional. I was like, okay, all right. Is this the real, or, is this just how she answers questions? It's a legitimate question to ask. But the way the cousin is trying to grill her and go in on her is like, yeah, it seems like she's jealous of her. You're not gonna take them from me. Like, it's weird. Like, stop. It's weird. Now the problem really is when she came back to the room and she told Airris what happened. Airris at first was trying to console her. Yeah, I understand, she get like this, and that, and third. What he should have said was, you know what? Let me ask you, was there any point in time where you felt disrespected? If so, I need to go and talk to my cousin, because we ain't doing that. But he didn't. And I saw it on Jasmine's face. Like he didn't say anything. He just let it like that's just what it is. He didn't say nothing. And she looked over at him like, oh wow, okay, dang. Like that when I saw that, I was like, this is your time, bro, to step up. Your family's, getting out of pocket. It's up to you to put them back in pocket. That's your problem. That's your job. This is your wife now. You can't have them disrespect her. They can be tough on her and ask her some real questions. Because, like I said, I'm not mad at the question because I was thinking that way beforehand. But the energy that she was giving her was just too much. Like, it was, what are you doing? Like, whoo. Yeah, somebody just put it, no protection. And as men, that's one of the P's, protection. That's your job to provide it. And yeah, he was definitely acting like Prince Akeem or something, like ooh, dun, 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 dun. Cue the music, man. He was like, girl come out the tub. You know what she say? The Roy P's clean, your highness. I was like, yo, what is this dude doing? He need to chill out. Like, and I thought he was playing at first. No, he really made her go and get those grapes to feed him too. I was like, bruh, only child syndrome for real. Like, it's wow. It was rough. It was rough watching that scene because I'm seeing, fellas, let me ask you, I think we all grown up, we've been in a situation where you think something in your head. Like, you know what, this would be cool to say or this would be cool to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is going to be tight. But then you do it and either people tell you or you have a chance to look back on it and be like, what the heck was I thinking? This is dumb as hell. What? Like yeah, sometimes we say stupid stuff. It's just, I guess that's part of manhood at times when you grow up. But he's 39, 40. What we doing, bro? Like, I don't know, this is weird. He's starting to, there are times, I think he's like a kind of a funny dude. He likes to laugh, have fun, make jokes. But I think there's a part of him that is coming off a little childish, kiddish a little bit. Like, I may be wrong about that, but I'm just getting the sense like he's just a big kid. He never, he was forced to grow up, but never really grew up.
But Trey, you know what that is? That's because he's an only child. And as a fellow only child, if you don't, especially if your mom was really coddled you, you got to grow up and grow out of that. I am an only child, but at a certain point, there were, some things that I appreciate my mom for doing, especially because my dad passed away at 16, right? That she was intentional about not doing, right? About overindulging, over catering to me. That does happen, and it doesn't only happen to only children too, but definitely over only children, you get that hyper focus on you and the moms can go crazy. So, and his mom seems like a really nice woman. So I could see her just, unintentionally overindulging him.
Hey, are there not the same, but another Chris and Nicole situation where she's a lot more into him than he is to her until she came out with that negligee on. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, all right. I had to look over too, like, ooh, okay, she looking real nice coming out. He perked up quick. He perked up real quick when she came out looking nice. Now all of a sudden he's interested. I don't know. Got to watch him. He definitely gives off on for the street vibes. He said he grew out of that, but nah, he's still giving off on for the streets.
All them dating profiles on pause. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah. That note.
Anybody else? Anybody?
Sorry, I'll just jump in quickly. That post that you just put up about Airris is the black version of Clint. Listen, they both were kind of buddied up when they were hazing Chris about him not having slept with a girl like in a year. They both kind of put it out there that, you know, they were giving off the vibe like, nah, you know, 2 weeks before the show aired, they were still getting it on. So maybe Airris, listen, it's too soon for him to snap out of that. Like, he hasn't had enough time by himself to let alone focus on Jasmine like that. So yeah, their relationship is, I think it's very dependent on how he shows up, because I think Jasmine definitely likes him and wants to make a go of it, and I don't get the same level of certainty with him. And with the cousin, listen, he got a taste of how the cousin feels before the wedding, right before, like when she was telling him, you know, we can leave right now and all this other, trying to talk him out of it. Yo, like, that's not going to go away either. So he should have known that when Jasmine went to see the family, Jasmine was going to get a concentrated blast of that type of energy. So I agree, like, he should have, you know, when she came back and gave him the feedback, he should have said, okay, all right, I can kind of guess how it went. I'm hearing what you said. I'm going to go take it to my cousin now. And it doesn't have to be a beef thing at all. It doesn't have to be aggressive. Just say, look, like, this is my wife. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to see, look, I did this process for a reason. This is who I've ended up with. She's nice. I'm going to make a go of it, right? But he didn't do that. Or at least on this episode, we haven't seen that. So, yeah, I definitely think this relationship is going to head downhill. Haven't seen any beef between them yet. But I think it's only a matter of time before she feels like he's probably allowing his cousin to influence him, or she detects that he's after knocking the boots instead of trying to make a go of their marriage.
Oh yeah, and on the after show, after watching it, Airris is Dominique's type, and Dominique's type is Airris. Tear that straight off. How they were talking to each other, how they were supporting each other. when Miss Keisha was asking some hard questions on them, they were supporting each other. I got your back, girl. It was weird, but yeah, they're each other type. So that's interesting.
Go for it, Ludwin.
All right. I hope I can articulate myself this time. I think Seaway was on the tip. Ladies and gentlemen, we have what we call the Super Negro, the Ray Ray of the show. He has no money. I don't think you guys remember for that matchmaking special. Dr. Pepper pulled up to the house. He had no clothes in that closet. And his mama do his laundry. We have a problem. And I feel bad that they matched him with the pageant girl. And as someone who's also a pageant girl, she is not going to super react on TV. She's going to see it coming, but she has to stay proper because that's where she's from. That's her life. She has like 4 titles. And he for the streets. He literally said, over the years, I know I put some women through the ringer. He for the streets. He he's a Ray Ray. On top of that, he grew up around a lot of different women. He's like a 6. He's not Pookie, where he's fine as hell, but he he a little handsome. He can get some draws. That's why he's 40 and no direction in life. And the fact that the cousin is acting super protective. They were probably besties growing up, probably roaming the streets together. So she probably have known a lot of stones in his bones in his closet. She knows where the bodies are buried. So that's probably how she feels super protective. Maybe they're kissing cousins. We don't know. However, the fact that he has no backbone, so he has allowed these women to be super protective. On top of that, I think he mentioned on one of the episodes that since the death of his father, he struggled to know what a man is. He struggled to know how to lead a household. So I think for the most part, his idea of what a man is just sleep around and give his goodies away like Prince Hakeem. That's why he's acting like, oh, bring me grapes. Now, I am super king. So he feel like he deserved the world because he feel like he's a little handsome. And women like him because, of course, if you're the only boy in the household and you're the only kid in the household and your mom caters to you, your cousin caters to you, your homeboy's going to cater to you too because he's probably the only handsome man in the crew. So he going to get all the girls. They're going to come to him first. It's not that he's tall. He knows where he stands. He's like, what, 5'8"? Because he's shorter than her. Slightly. But she was also in heels. So to be shorter than her and she's in heels, that's also, However, I don't see him having the type of masculine energy that she needs. And it's gonna be a downfall during this whole season because as Trey was saying that he didn't necessarily back her up when she brought up the fact with the whole cousin being disrespectful at the mouth. So if he let her run her mouth like that for someone she just met, how many other women she has run off over the years? And that could be also why he's 40 looking for somebody on national TV. Because she probably has meddled all this time and probably have kept him in the streets. Who knows? Because if she's so gung-ho about someone you just met, like 2 days ago? And you this gung-ho and so negative? So, it seems like nobody will ever be enough, honestly. Because if they grew up together, let's just say they grew up together, right? So, and they have a stronger relationship, she probably give him advice throughout this whole time. And the mom and her and close friends probably will never find someone good enough for him. And possibly have kept him in the streets this whole time. So I don't think he knows how to lead per se still. I think he felt like, okay, well, I'm 40. This should be the right time for me to get in a relationship. And if I can recall, the cousin said you never been in a full relationship. He may have had a bunch of situationships over the years. You just be, slanging. Just out here just slanging like Ray Ray. And never kept something real. So how would he know what real is? For real. Even if he tries this show. It could just be he's wanting to get, a little paycheck and be on TV for a little bit and, get his money right. But truly, I don't see this working out at the end. It could be that he do like light skinned women, like the Dominique. But I feel bad for Jasmine. She's so pretty for this. That's my cue.
Can I ask a question on Ludwin? You said something interesting earlier. In your opinion, what type of masculinity does Jasmine need?
More like a protector, someone who is going to have her back, someone who's going to stand for her. Because if I'm, as your woman, well, even though I'm new, however, if I'm telling you, hey, this bothers me, and I don't hear some form of protecting words, hey, let me look into this for you. Sure, I'll give her a call. I'll talk it out. I'll make sure we fix this. None of those words came out per se, and she didn't feel safe that she knows this will happen again or won't happen again. So there's a lot to say when it comes to receiving confusion from a man. That face that she made, that's a face of confusion. And no peace leaves somewhere where there's confusion. Chaos will ensue as the days come, because that was like, oh, we got a red flag. That face was like, I don't like that, but I ain't finna throw up on this TV. So that's what I got from that.
Yeah, can't lie to you. Airris is. You know what? Not even Airris, but I think just that scene where she comes back after meeting his family and she has that conversation with him, and you can see the disappointment in her face that that he doesn't say anything. And let's be real, man. If your wife and your cousin meet and the cousin is disrespectful or rude or does something that makes your mood of your wife change, it may be time to have a conversation with your cousin. Do you know what I mean? But I think he's very much aware of her attitude because he knows that she doesn't like this process. You know what I mean? So he's very much aware of her attitude and he's refusing to address it. That for me speaks volumes. You know what I mean? And it can speak on many different options. It could be that, there may be something going on between you, and then it might not be your cousin. It might be your cousin, and you know what? You have grown up amongst a lot of women, and so this is what you think is normal and normalized behavior, right? The third one could be that you're using her to kind of buffer Jasmine a little bit as well. You know what I mean? Like keep her in check. Let her know. Listen, baby. This family, they look after me, so you gotta look after me too. You understand? Because if you step out, they're gonna step out on you. Okay, so it could be another whole bunch of reasons why. But the reality is, I don't understand the vitriol energy that the cousin has. It doesn't make sense. See, if you don't like your cousin being in here, have that energy for your cousin. Why are you bringing that energy onto the other woman? The other woman is in the process doing her thing. If you don't like the process, then you should be angry at Airris, not the girl who is also doing the process as well. You don't need to be doing that. So I think in that regard, I was a little bit confused as to why the energy is the way it is with the cousin. And me personally, if my wife came to me and said that my cousin was moving mad with her, I'd have been like, baby, don't worry, I'm gonna handle this. Because ain't nobody come to talk to my wife that way and you're gonna be upset and they're overstepping boundaries. That makes no sense. You know what I mean? So for me, it's not protection when you leave your wife exposed or your husband exposed to family members of yours, because it's your family. So you're the responsible person who has to speak to your family. So I'm hoping that Airris is not as the ladies are saying, but I don't have any strong evidence to say anything against. So you know what? If you think he's a little gangster on the street or a little street thug or whatever you want to call him, super negro, whatever, I can't really talk against it because I haven't seen anything to say otherwise. But I really do feel like that respect is needed here for your wife, man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's given. I'm trying to be on TV myself. You know what I mean? Maybe you and your cousin colluded and you want to be on TV. This is your little script of how you're going to be on TV, and this is your little, your little moment to shine. Maybe that's it. Or maybe, do you know what? Like I said, maybe the cousin's not the cousin. So it's just weird. You know what I mean? It's just really weird. It's there's something odd about it. So yeah, a weird one there. Any last additions? Any last additions?
We all need a cousin like Airris. Cousin. Let's go.
Moving mad.
I got a
Moving
cousin
mad.
almost like Airris, but she ain't that bad. That ain't nah, because I wouldn't have it. Nah, we ain't doing that.
Time.
I had to tell her to fall back one day. Like, no, chill out, chill out.
You know, I kind of had a cousin like girl, like he done changed his life, got married, but he ain't have,
Yo, we can't hear you, Ludwin.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Was I muffled?
Yeah, it was muffling. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm
It's
laying
all right.
there. No, I was saying like I used to have somewhat of a sidekick cousin like that too, where like when I would go out, we would pick up girls together. Like I'll give him pointers, whatever. But now he's a changed man, so I don't see that happening for Airris. I think we should swap the black couples. Give Kirsten Mr. Ray Ray, because he gonna put her in her place pretty quick, because she's acting like a prissy girl, and pretty girls like some hood boys, some hood Negroes. I've seen that happen. They love that thugnicity.
Publicity indeed. Well, guys, we have reached the end of today's program. It's been a good conversation. Good conversation. Had fun with it, man. This is another good live, man. I appreciate you guys because y'all brought the energy and the vibe, man, to this particular show. So anybody watching it back, you're gonna really enjoy, man, because it's fun, man. It's a vibe. But yeah, please, Sean, give us a benediction so we can get out of church.
All right. Yes, the doors of the church are open. Listen, I learned some new things tonight, and I learned about a super Negro. So I've learned something new. Thank you for the education. But I think what we learned today during this discussion was communication, right? Communication can either inflate or deflate your relationship. We think about most of the couples, the central issues or challenges that we're starting to see develop really are root caused in communication. We think about Clint, and Gina, right? Over communicating your preferences and your type, especially in a very new situation, is never going to help you. It's just going to open Pandora's box. So please, don't go over communicating what you used to, who you used to, what you really like, what you don't like. Either get to know the person that's in front of you, get to understand them, and then you're able to make an informed decision. But starting to look in that rearview mirror about what you had and what you normally like, just never, no one ever winds up feeling good on the other end of that conversation. So that would be my feedback there. Chris and Nicole, just take your time. Chris is doing a good job of that, taking his time. Nicole just needs to pace herself, right? Just take your time, listen, it ain't going nowhere, and read the room, read the room, and don't oversell yourself, over position yourself, let chemistry develop if it's there, but please don't just go pushing yourself on nobody. Then we have Donna McKinley. That's the tale of a family divided. And this type of communication is body language, because Chris's McKinley's mom don't like the scenario, and Dom's mom is doing too much talking, too much driving. She's a major driver in that relationship. So folks, we need to set boundaries with our in-laws and friends to make sure that they are not overly involved and invested in our relationships, and let them breathe. Airris and Jasmine, talk to her nice. Listen, Communication, we all like to be talked to nice. Talk to her nice. She's a given. If you have a given woman, for the fellas who's really trying to work with you, work with her, right? Just please, dive into your softer side, right? And just be conscious of how you say things, what you say, time and season. Get on your knees. I've learned, and I understand is not appropriate, right? And definitely eagerly going into conversations about sex where it's not time and place. You got to know time and place, time and season. Last but not least, Shaq and Kristen, I'm going to devote the Fantasia song. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. And I'm up the ante. If you don't want me, then don't sit on my lap. If you don't want me, don't sit on my lap. You know what I'm saying? If you sit on my lap, hey, that's an open invitation. So ladies out there, if you don't want a man, don't sit on his lap. Please don't sit on my lap and talk about we gonna pace ourselves, because that is just not setting the foundation for honesty amongst us two. And I'll turn it back to you, Coach.
Thank you very much there, Sean. Great live today. Honestly, guys, it's been amazing to have you guys on board. JR, Ludwin, Trey, Seaway, Onu, Sean. Good to have you guys on, and it was good energy today as well. Great conversations as well. Great points made as well. And we'll be back here on Saturday, guys. So we'll be back for Ready to Love. And then we'll be back here on Sunday for the men's panel as well. So we know we got some things coming up, and then Tuesday we have our open panel again. So you guys can come and have a discussion. I think someone gave me the topic they wanted to discuss. Oh, I think they wanted to discuss the situation with the Passport Bros. So I think they're having an open discussion about that, around that. So the open panel will be about that. But I haven't got a topic for the men's Sunday as of yet, but we'll have one soon. So listen, guys and girls, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of the uploads. Oh, sorry, yes, the poll. So the poll ended this way. Oh, the poll, 183 votes we had, guys. I'll take a screenshot so because some of you will not believe me. So 183 can I show it? The poll? Show. But anyway, okay, so 183. Would you date Chris? 33% of you ladies said yes. 35% said no. 32% said they need more information. Okay, so it ended in a way with more of you saying no. A slight margin. But it looks like, and funny enough, before this, I looked at it, actually was slightly more yes, but it's changed now to slightly more no. So we've ended on the note, which, hey, we told you, you probably wouldn't want to date him. I mean, the need more information is actually a no. Okay, because if you needed more information, you would have said yes. If you don't need more information, you would have said yes. So the need more information for is a no. Okay, a win is a win. A win is a win. So, guys, we will see you again very, very soon on Saturday night for another live panel. If you do want to join these panels, just shout me, give me a little email, whatever. We do need cams up, guys, all right? Because there's no point. It's on YouTube, we're not on Clubhouse. So I appreciate you lot. Please come back again on Saturday and we'll have some more fun as well. All right. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, loaded. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.